Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. We're going to do a little bit of painting tonight. So glad you guys could join us. I am going to send this little guy out. So hang on one second while we get set up here. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. We're going to do a little bit of painting and some hanging out, so it should be good. Okay, and so that went out. Okay, so with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment into the comment section. Hey, what's up, Demon Jester J? Probably have a few of our friends popping in here in a bit, and I'll show you guys what we're working on. I'm working on a night models commission, and so what you have in front of you right now is Flashpoint Batman, and he's been primed up a little bit, a little ready to go. We're going to do some color blocking using airbrush, and I guess tonight I'm not sure who we're going to work on. Maybe him, maybe, I don't know, whoever else is kind of similar in terms of their the color scheme. The client sent me what color scheme they want me to follow. It's kind of a red and a gray with like a red detailing. Let's see what we got. Where'd it go? So I hope you guys are having a good holiday weekend here. So it's like that, it's like red. Okay, red and black, and I may just want to Google this because that wasn't the most complete. Whoops. Flashpoint Batman. Flashpoint Batman. What's up, Cameron? You just finishing up your paint session? Glad to hear it, man. I know you've been really productive lately. And I'm trying to get a little bit more work done on this. Looks like his detailing is red, like gray, black, and red. Very simple color scheme from what I can tell. So I guess we'll, yeah, I'm painting Thomas Wayne. That is what we're working on. And so that back there is red. This looks like that's going to be red. The rest of this is going to be kind of gray. So let's go ahead and, you know, I don't think I'm going to wear any gloves because we're just going to, I may have to get into a little bit more finer manipulation of stuff. Hey, what's up, Adam? Merry Christmas, honkies. Yeah. So I guess what I'm going to do is we're going to do black back here. I'll do a little bit black here in the, you know, kind of in the corners there. The rest of this is going to be gray, kind of outlined with like a black, I don't know. Words are gone today. Words aren't working so well today. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just, whoa, that's a little too dark. Right? And this whole area here is a little bit darker. And just kind of, just pretty simple color scheme on this guy though. He's like if Red Mask became Batman. Anyways, here's what we're working on. If you guys are just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight I'm working on some night models. So right now I'm just doing some color blocking on Thomas Wayne Flashpoint Batman here. Pretty cool mini from Night Models. What color is this like collar here? That's the that's the cowl, so that should be darker there too. Not really sure what building a winged Nazgul model and going to start painting my mounted Rohan models. Lord of the Rings stuff for Adam. You shall not pass, honky Adam. Anyways, I want to thank everyone for joining us on this Saturday night here. Like I said, I'm working on Flashpoint Batman. All right. And let's see, I have to refer back to the, okay, so boots are black, gloves are black. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we're looking at. Okay. And actually, I'm just going to shade in some of these areas a little bit darker. You love the Lord of the Rings miniature game. I never played it. I saw it at like every GW. They used to plug the hell out of it at the Block in Orange, and I just never really got around to it. What color are these little like shoulder pads? The shoulder pads. Also black. Okay. Well okay. This guy may be a very quick paint job. Which is good, because then we can move on to some other guys. Okay. And really, the rest of that is just sort of red and black. There's really not much going on there. It's a solid game. Since I got some of this dark color anyway. Let's get some of it on Enchantress. Just get a little block on her. Darker black. It's actually Panzer dark gray, but it's a fair point. Sometimes you gotta have a darker black. Gosh, when I hit her with the airbrush, her little ankles are swaying. That scares me. It scares me quite a bit. Zatanna also has quite a bit of black in her model. So I'm just gonna blow out the rest of this black on Zatanna. Because trying to keep Zatanna nice and smooth has been an issue because I had to do some repair on her. Okay. Anybody else here rocking a lot of black? What about this guy? I'm having to refer to a little bit there. Not really. Maybe this guy has a little bit. Whoa. Totally overshot that. That's okay. Okay. How about Batgirl? Does Batgirl have a lot of that? That Batgirl probably does not. The new one. What do I do with the packaging? I don't think that Batgirl really has any black on her, right? She's mostly like purple and... Yeah, I don't think she has any. This guy may have black on his shoes. All right. And I guess if anything, there's a little bit of black here on Red Sun Superman's hair. All right. Okay. So let's get like a... Let's up the color a little bit. Actually, you know what? I should actually use that black in more areas of this model. I know he's like mostly, like he's a lot lighter color. Maybe I just wash it. Yeah, maybe I just wash it. There's not much to him really. But let's get like a medium gray, like a base gray going. If I have a good base gray, I probably do. That's base gray. That's too close though. I need like a good, like a neutral gray. Maybe even this, maybe even like that heavy blue gray would be kind of cool. He's got the complete set Minotaur Ghost tints for $12. The last one came in today in the mail. Okay. That's cool. I do like those ghost tints. I haven't used them in a while though. I just, I don't really paint too much sci-fi stuff or stuff that would really call for that. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Oh gosh, I took the tip guard off of that. I'm going to put a little bit more of this black gray down, this Panzer Dark Gray, and then I'm going to step it up a little bit. I know that makes sense to nobody, but that's what we're doing. All right. I just want to do it because I just want a little bit of tone in there. You know what I mean? I know he's going to be a lighter gray than this, but I want that tone. Just the way his art is, it's just not as interesting. I'll just shoot I haven't decided on a cobblestone color scheme yet either. We'll figure that out in a minute. Okay. Nobody else is really rocking that much of a darker color scheme. Let's get a little darker color here for Red Sun Superman on the thing he's standing on. And if nobody shows up for a while, I'll just do, I can just do a kind of a mini rant. And I do have a little bit of a topic to rant about tonight. Just something that's been on my mind lately. You know, what with the latest Star Wars movie out, and I don't know about you, but my YouTube feed right now is totally filled with a bunch of reviews for it. And there seems to be a direct correlation between having a large channel and liking the movie, with the exception of, like, you know, a few people. You know, like PewDiePie, he didn't like the movie, and Red Letter Media, they didn't like the movie. But I'm not really here to rant about Star Wars per se, but sort of to rant around it. Some things that I've noticed. Like I said, a lot of the smaller independent channels are saying that they don't like the movie. And I'm not questioning anybody's authenticity here, because there are people that genuinely like the movie and there are people that genuinely don't like the movie. Whatever. Your opinion is your opinion. But one thing that was kind of sunk in my mind is I kind of looked at I looked at a couple of things. I looked at the consumer experience behind going to the movies. And I also looked at, you know, the business sort of franchise end of Disney and Star Wars. And I don't claim to be an expert on either one of these topics, so I'm just talking out my ass. So my disclaimer is there. The only thing I can say, though, is I do work in corporate America, and I work very closely with marketing companies, marketing contractors, in our own internal marketing department. And I realize what a truly influential force marketing is in any of these, you know, on any company in corporate America, whether or not you're publicly traded. So I will say this: marketing may not be good at some of their job, but they're really good at the marketing job, especially, you know, large successful companies. And the reason why I bring it up is because to me, it speaks more to the, you know, how deliberate is some of this stuff that we're seeing. You know, the one thing that kept sticking out to me with regards to people that were reviewing the sequels, I'm sorry, the latest Star Wars, or people that were ranting about it, or people that were, you know, mad at the director, or mad at Disney, or mad at anything like that. I know from being on the inside of a large corporate company that they actually understand stuff like that. When people say, "Oh, I don't think they understand. I don't think Star Wars understands. I don't think they understand their fans. I don't think they understand what they want." You know, you hear that a lot, and you'll even hear it in you know, within our own microcosm. We don't think Games Workshop understands what the people want. And I'm going to disagree with that slightly. I don't think it's that these companies, these larger corporations or anything like that, I don't think it's that they don't know what we want. I'm going to propose something different to you guys. And I'm going to suppose they're going to say, you know, when someone says they don't know what their fans want, I would actually correct that statement and say they don't necessarily want you as their fan. And I don't mean that in a malicious sense, okay? I don't mean that I mean that in a very business, realistic sense. They don't want you, and we'll let that sink in for a second. You're not their customer. You're not their target audience. To which you might say, "Oh, bullshit. I'm totally their target audience. I love Star Wars. I love everything about it. I grew up on Star Wars. I've been watching the movies all my life. I've been playing the video games. And let me repeat myself. You are not their customer. At least you're not their long-term customer. Okay? And yeah, and you see, Canvas nailed it already. They don't want fans. They want consumers. That's kind of what I'm getting at. They don't want fans. And the movie, there's a number of things going on here, but you have to understand a couple things. Like you have to understand the current plight of the movie theaters, the current plight of the cinemas, right? Because the cinemas are hurting. As of the beginning of this year, 6 of the major cinema companies were devalued a combined $1.3 billion. That's a big deal, right? That basically says theaters are losing business. They're losing money. They're having a hard time hitting their financial targets. Okay, and why is that? And what are theaters doing to change that? Well, there's some things that most people can pick at, like IMAX experiences or premium theater experiences with the fully reclinable leather seats, and changing that whole experience with going to the movie. But it's not just the environment that they're changing. They're changing the way studios make movies. They're changing the way studios target and prioritize making a movie, right? Let me break it down to hey, what's up, Nelson? Welcome to the feed.
What's going on, man? What are you talking about now? I'm
I'm
curious.
talking out of my ass about the movie, the movie experience, and how this relates to, why people are so basically feel like, good filmmaking and good storytelling is dead, right?
Yeah, because all the fucking SJW ruined The Last Jedi.
Well, that's one way of looking at it, but I'm kind of backing it up and looking at it from the theater's perspective, right? So from the standpoint of, let's see, like, I work for a company that manufactures paint, right? We manufacture paint, and we have crazy smart marketing people that understand how to get people to buy paint. Okay, so when they look at a can of paint and they're talking to their technical team, they're talking to me, they're talking to chemists and R&D scientists and that sort of thing. There are a number of things that we say that are important to us. And we'll say, well, it's important that our paint does this. It's important to the customer for them to experience this or this or this. And the marketing people will seem like they're just completely tone deaf to that type of talk. They'll hear a certain thing and go, yeah, that sounds kind of important. That sounds kind of important. But they're drawing off of a very different base to make a final decision. Okay, let me give you an example. So if I told our marketing team, like, look, it's really important for our paint to be, say, blister resistant, right? Oh yeah, that's really important. You don't want your paint blistering on the wall. You could be painting over an exterior surface like aluminum or flashing, or not aluminum, but a metal surface that gets really hot, may move, may expand, may contract. And so this is an important feature. But the marketing guy's not even looking at it that way. He's going, okay, logically that makes sense. But you know what's really important to customers, and what our marketing research shows? It shows that they want to have really fancy names for the colors, right? It doesn't actually matter all that much when we realize that if we spend, say, an
You know why
extra
that is, right?
$500,000.
It's
What's that?
because you know why that is, right? Because generally the people buying paint for the household are fucking women.
Yeah.
That's where that
Yes,
comes
exactly.
from.
But
Their
so they
marketing's
know how to.
women.
Right. By the way, welcome to the feed, Diz. So,
Hi.
but that's absolutely right. And so when they're designing a product and they have a budget and they say, well, we could spend that $500,000 fixing blistering because that's what Octave and that's what the scientists say we should do, or we could pour that $500,000 into coming up with some really clever names, because people will then throw their money at it. And you know what? If they have problems with blistering, it's not so bad. Our market research says most DIYers are so happy by the time they're done painting something that they don't give a shit. They're like, oh, it blistered, whatever. I did it myself. I'm not a professional. It's fine. They'll let shit like that slide. But internally, it drives us insane. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you just let that product on the shelf with what we know to be a known issue, right? So now let's take that same example and let's put that into making a movie. So when you're making a movie and you understand, okay, we need to get asses in the theater seats. It's fine that they buy the DVD or the Blu-ray or they watch it on Netflix. That's okay, but that's secondary market. We want them to sit down in a theater. And what's important when you sit down in a theater, right? Good technical ability.
Loud sound.
Premium sound, visual effects, putting together these truly breathtaking shots, these truly breathtaking scenes. And they can say, well, okay, we have a budget of $50 million. We can spend $5 million to bring in a competent writer to actually tell a decent story.
Anyone with half a brain cell doesn't give a shit about that if the movie sucks. Because if the movie sucks, none of that matters.
Yes and no. Yes and no, right?
Anyone with half a brain cell would say yes. Mind you.
Wait, hold on. Let him finish. I want to hear him finish.
So from the studio's point of view, they're saying, okay, what would get people to sit down and watch or sit down and enjoy the theater experience would be to put together these crazy fucking awesome cinematic shots, right? So let's spend all of our money there. And then the writing in the story, that's more of an afterthought, right? I mean, the movies that win best screenplay or that win Academy Awards for that kind of shit, do they gross a lot of money? No. Michael Bay grosses a lot of money, right? Michael Bay puts together these just almost brain dead movies, but the effects are amazing. The sound is amazing. People go and they line up in droves because they watch a trailer, which is a string of these awesome shots, and they think, oh, I'm going to get to watch that in the theater. That's going to be so dope. That's going to be great, right? So they get to the theater and they watch those shots and they realize, or people with half a brain cell, as he put it, would realize that the writing is only good enough to string those scenes together. Okay?
If you're lucky.
That's it. If you're lucky. If you're lucky. And the fans don't even care the rest of the time if it does or not. It's like, oh, well, I got to see Optimus Prime, he had a sword. Like, they don't care. And meanwhile, you have the old school nerds. You have the people like me or other people on YouTube that like to complain about shit, because I do. And we get on YouTube and go. But
I couldn't help myself.
We're like, storytelling is dead. They don't make good movies anymore. How come they don't listen to their fans? And again, back to my original point here is, we're not their fans. We're not who they already have.
No, the thing
what they
is,
want
you are the fans,
us.
But you're not the majority. You're not the ones filling the majority of the seats. So they don't give a shit about you guys. That's what it is.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. And the reason why, we think that, oh, they don't listen to us. They're not listening to us. Actually, they are. They're listening, but they're not listening to your words. They're listening to ticket sales. That's it. They don't give a shit what comes out of your mouth. Just get in that seat, sit down, and watch some shit. It does not matter what you say. It doesn't. So when people go, oh, this is an open letter to George Lucas, like, they don't give a fuck. All right, they don't care about you. You already bought your ticket.
Right,
sat your ass down. It does not matter to them. They already have your money. It doesn't matter. So I don't know. I guess I guess what I'm getting at is, a lot of people think that this is about just shitty writing, or there is a political agenda to that, Nelson, and I think you're totally right. But that's almost like people sneaking in stuff to the stew. It's almost like, well, we saved all this money by not hiring competent writers, and we threw out half their scenes anyway. But we could sneak this bullshit in, right? We could just put that in, and the people that are going to hate it are going to hate it anyway. And the people that are going to like it are going to like it anyway. And they're not even, the people that are going to like it are barely even going to notice that something like that is in there, that some subversive sort of, hey, it's a political statement.
People in the arts are very left-leaning, very much so. Having gone to art school, I can testify to that. And yeah, so they're doing it intentionally because that is what they live and breathe for.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not like, oh, we're just going to slip this in. It's definitely a thought.
Well, sure. It's like in my opinion, it's an indulgence on the behalf of the studio. It's like, oh, we're gonna put in this high artsy shit, and people are gonna be able to write about it, and they're gonna say, oh, well, our movie is conscientious. Our shitty, trailer, our extended trailer with some like really atrocious acting and writing in it. That's what they're getting at, But I can't help but feel that, like, I think, in my opinion, I feel like we're kind of at this age where these studios or where these content, producers they're really just sort of looking to build better consumers, and we're not part of that equation. We're the people that help get them here. Like, right? A lot of us are the people that helped make this stuff popular and or mainstream to begin with, but ultimately they don't want, they're done with us. They don't want us anymore. They want people that will blindly accept anything and continue to, if Walking Dead goes 25 seasons, or if they can make a Star Wars movie every year for the next 30 years, that's what they want.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
which they are making it every season because of the toy sales mainly, and
right. So a lot of this, yeah, no, totally. But anyways,
yeah, I think you touch up on a lot of good points, Octavia. The fact is that the audience is divided in two for The Last Jedi, and I read both sides of the comments. I seen both sides, why people love it and why people hate it. And like you said, we were the one that built Star Wars along the way. And granted, yes, you're a decade older than me, not by much, right? Not by much. But when I first came here to the States, Star Wars was the first film that was able to make me connect with the Western kids. I brought in the Obi-Wan Kenobi figure and the Yoda figure from Phantom Menace, and that's how I was able to connect. And from there, I helped also contribute to that fandom, being an advocate about the films and stuff like that. And eventually, I see George Lucas sold that franchise, and I know that he's getting out of it. He wants to make money, right? He doesn't have that energy or the heart to make it anymore. And I see your point why you don't like the prequels very much, even though I kind of do, but I digress. Anyway, but then they make this last two. They made these last two. The first one, The Force Awakens, was okay. It's similar to The New Hope. Regardless if you agree or disagree, it is a clone version of The New Hope, okay? You want to play safe from there to attract, guess what? The old audience like you and I back, right? And then this one right here, they totally shit on it because apparently The Force Awakens wasn't good enough to make those buns in the seats. You know what I mean? Or the toy sales, right? So,
really? Okay.
Well, yeah, it was enough. They make money, but it wasn't like.
I mean, in the theater, it made money, but I guess you're right. With the merchandising, they didn't make what they were expecting.
Yeah, it did not. They did not. So, yeah. And then, they thought, and then now this one right here, I thought it was just like, what the hell happened? I mean, I don't know if he's singing or whatnot, but goodness.
Yeah, a lot of what the fuck moments.
Oh God, just kill The Walking Dead. Don't give them ideas, Octave. I don't have to give them ideas. They're gonna keep running. They'll run anything until it's no longer profitable. I mean, that's just the way they're gonna do that.
The TV version is Yeah, I see both points of TV version too, but just so you guys know, like if you guys haven't read the comics did ran about a total of 11 volumes. So
Hmm.
it's yeah. Anyway,
But yeah, it's like I almost take it like, the the reason why they're rebooting these franchises is because, one, they're a safe bet. They know
hmm
some dumbass my age is going to go, oh, I remember that, I'm going to take my kids to see it. And as long as I tune out and not give a shit, like I'm what you would call like a lukewarm fan, like I barely remember 2 or 3 Ghostbusters, I'll take my kid to that shit and just like and just be happy that my kid likes Ghostbusters. Like I don't have to be a hardcore, dedicated, passionate fan. They don't want that. They don't. In fact, that's a problem. They don't want me to be that. Um, they want me to be just recognizable enough to bring me and my kid to the theater, and hopefully my kid shuts up and takes his Ritalin and sits in that seat long enough, and we pay our money. That's what it is. That's what it's about. And it's also like this whole like franchise mentality, right?
yeah,
Like I was saying a few months ago, like you don't own anything anymore, and that's on purpose. You don't own like all of the business or consumerism now is trying to move people into subscription based models for stuff.
yep.
Like your phone, you don't own your phone anymore. You don't own half the shit you're supposed to own or you used to own 10 years ago because they want to just collect that monthly from you and go, oh
hmm
well, see, it's cheaper. And but that's how these companies can remain profitable. It's how they can is they have a guaranteed stream of income coming in. So
Yeah,
and it's like you can almost say that something similar is going on with movie franchises or that sort of thing. It's like we're just going to keep people coming in because it's guaranteed, especially with Disney and all the properties they own now. They're like, okay, that's guaranteed revenue. We know people are going to show up for superhero movies. We know they're going to show up for Star Wars movies. Um, and then the other side effect to that, though, is it's like they're they don't want to gamble on any new IP. They don't want to gamble on any new stories because it's like, why should I? I've got a guaranteed, you know,
cash
I,
cow.
I'm yeah, I'm guaranteed to make 400 million on this franchise domestically every time I put out a film, even if it's below what the last one did. It's still going to make more money than if I gamble on something. And then then you have like the Oscars and that kind of shit where the artsy people pat each other on the back and they're like, Moonlight was such a great film, you guys. It was really powerful. Who the fuck went to go see Moonlight? Honestly. Like who
No
goes
idea.
and watches it doesn't matter. Like the studios they'll sit there and clap and go, yeah, yeah, good job, good job. You guys put out something really aware. They don't give a fuck who wins the Academy. In fact, they like, oh, J.J. Abrams didn't win Best Directing, but you know what? He puts people in the fucking theater. We're gonna keep giving him projects. The Rock and Kevin Hart, fuck it. They don't have to do high art, but they guarantee sales. Let's put them in Jumanji. Like, I can't believe they still haven't made a Twins with The Rock and Kevin Hart yet. Like, I thought for sure that would be a thing by now.
We've been in quite a few movies together.
Yeah. You guys would love the Kevin Smith video. Uh, okay. I don't know the Kevin Smith video, but I don't know.
There's a lot
Anyways,
of Kevin Smith videos. I don't know which one he's referring to.
but yeah, that's just me.
You do know who Kevin Smith is, right?
I do.
Okay.
I I'll be honest with you. I was kind of lukewarm on Clerks. I did like Mallrats. I did like a bunch of his other stuff. But yeah. Anyways, Lee Chessie wants to know: can somebody name a JJ? I'm assuming Abrams movie that I might like. Haven't seen one yet. Dang.
Did you not like Cloverfield?
I never watched Cloverfield. I
You know,
refuse to go see that.
yeah, I never watched Cloverfield, but I do want to watch I do want to watch 10 Cloverfield Lane because that does sound interesting, at least.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Cloverfield Lane, the latest one. I'm not even sure if it's related to the first one. Apparently, it is, but I didn't even
It's
know
like
who J.J.
mildly
Abrams
related, I
was.
think.
Yeah, I didn't know
Oh,
who
you didn't?
J.J. Abrams was until I saw Cloverfield, and I like his
What do you think?
style because the whole film, probably all the way until the last half an hour, that's when you actually see the monster. And to me,
Mhm.
for him to direct it and film it that way, for me to be so curious, like, oh my god, I can't wait to see it. Why I haven't seen the monster yet? Like for me, for the him to grab that type of attention for me until the last half an hour, it's pretty
Yeah.
powerful. Yeah, I give him props for that. Most of the time, I've been like, dude, this is a piece of shit film, like a Netflix 2 star, like 1.5 star or something. But he did such a good job, and then he made it to the big, big theaters and made this huge sale and all that. That's when I found out about J.J. Abrams, and apparently right after that he did Star Wars, Star Trek. Oh no, Star Trek first, and
He
then
did
Star
Star Trek
Wars.
first, yeah.
Yeah, and then guess what? He's gonna come back for Star Wars Episode 9. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
And he
mean,
did another Cloverfield that's going to be out 2018.
it doesn't sound like Octave's a big fan of JJ, huh?
No, I don't. I don't love him or hate him.
Oh,
I don't really have. Oh God, did I not? Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, hold on. I forgot to put water in my rinse cup. That would have been really bad later on. 1 second.
I don't have the chat open, so I can't talk to people. I'm just painting. Painting orcs. Everybody out there, if you're wondering. What are you painting, hon? I think you're muted. Hello?
Alrighty. Okay. Yeah.
I don't hear Nelson.
Uh-oh.
You hear me though, right?
Might have muted
I muted
yourself.
myself.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I like to
So-
do that sometimes, so I don't blur about shit that I don't have to.
Yeah, I don't know. I did like the first Star Trek that he did for J.J. Abrams, but I would caveat that and say I'm not a die-hard Star Trek fan. You know what I mean? I like Star Trek. Like I've watched about half the movies, and I watched a lot of the original series, and I watched some of the Next Generation. So I would say I'm a casual Star Trek fan. And when that movie came out and I watched it, I was like, yeah, pretty good movie. But I don't know. Like if I was really into Star Trek, maybe I would be upset about some of the choices he made. But like I would be the studio's ideal Star Trek viewer because I don't care that much about it. Like, oh, cool, Star Trek. I recognize Star Trek. I'll watch it again. Yeah. But I don't know. That alone isn't enough for me to form an opinion on J.J. Abrams, and neither is The Force Awakens. Like I watched The Force Awakens and I was like, meh. It's like, meh, okay. He's just reminding us. That's fine. So I can't really say whether or not I'm a fan, a J.J. Abrams fan or not, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Let's see. He's okay with series, Almost Human and assisting with Westworld, but every movie I've seen him do is disappointing. No other word to describe them. I fucking love Westworld. I do. I love
You need to
Westworld.
watch that.
It's so good.
And
It's
check
so
out
good,
too much
but it's
other
such
stuff.
yeah. Like you might get mad at me like the second or third episode in. You might be like, Octave, you're full of shit. This is not a great show. Like,
No, I know it
stay
is.
with it.
Like I've heard from a lot of people that it is. You're safe. Don't worry.
I'm saying, yeah, but I don't know. It's weird that how much I like
I think I saw it
Wild
on
West
Netflix. Or am I
setting.
full of shit by saying that?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I think I saw it on Netflix.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be on. Yeah, they've been advertising it that they're going to have it
that's
on
what I
Netflix.
thought. So I was like, yeah, I can finally watch this.
Have you seen it, Nelson?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah.
supposed to be really good. We should watch it together when we're
Yeah,
all up into
you
it.
two shit on the prequel, so fuck you guys. Just kidding. Just kidding.
You know what, Nelson? To be honest with you, outside of episode 1, I like episode 2, but for the wrong reasons. It's just going to make you more mad. And episode,
Yeah.
but I do like
Hold
a
up.
lot. What?
You like episode 2 for what reason?
Because it's
I
like
even
the
told
room.
Leah.
It's like the room of Star Wars.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. No, you did not. I am officially triggered.
Look at it.
No, I'm
Oh
kidding.
god, like the romance is so cringe. It's so cringy. I'm like, oh my god,
are you talking about
I saw it in
Obi-Wan?
the theater.
And
Anakin and
yeah.
and oh god, and I'm like watching Natalie Portman, and I feel like she needs to call the police. Like, just that guy, he's touching you again. Just call the cops. Like, this is the creepiest shit I think I've ever seen. And it's supposed to be chemistry, and you're like, oh my god, just what am I watching here?
Oh goodness.
And episode 2 has Rose Byrne. That makes me so happy. I'm like, Rose Byrne is in episode 2?
Oh,
Sorry.
I agree. I mean, episode 1 was not the best. Okay, like besides Darth Maul, of course. Besides Darth Maul, okay.
Yeah, of course.
And they should have gave him way more airtime.
Ray Park is amazing.
Well, yeah. I mean, Ray Park is definitely amazing, and I did tell you guys, right, or the rest of the audience and YouTube, if you guys do give a shit, I met Ray Park. Okay.
Awesome.
What? That's bragging rights.
At Frankincense, and I got this news maybe literally hours before, because apparently they were doing some signings at Frankincense in the city of industry in California. Frankincense is like a collectible place, if some of you don't know, like a giant warehouse collectible place. I call it adult Disneyland, where all the nerds go in there, make their trades of miniatures, anime, or like ninja swords and shits like that, right? So Ray Park was there along with some of the cast members of Star Wars, and I got there late because I actually had to work that same day. And I told my boss, like, please, this is like my favorite Star Wars character actor, right? He plays Darth Maul. I cosplaying him. So, like, please give me an opportunity to go there. And I barely made it. He was just about to leave, 10 minutes before he was just about to leave. When I saw him, I couldn't believe it. I waited in line, and I knew exactly what I was going to say. By the time I got up to them, I just froze. I like a little girl. I'm serious. I froze. I didn't know what to say. And then he saw how awkward it was, and guess what he did? He got up his chair. He came right next to me, and he held out his hand. He's like, "I'm Ray Park. Pleasure to meet you." And he just made me feel so important, like I was a star or something. He got out of his chair, came out of his way, and his bodyguard was right next to him, of course. Not that he needs it, because he actually knows how to kick ass. So, so just for him to be so humble, and I was like, whoa, and I was stuttering too, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, can I have a photo of you? And then he was like, yeah, sure. And then he held my cell phone. And then that's how we took that selfie, and I posted it on Facebook ever since. I'm like, that's how down to earth he was.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just so you guys know, he's an awesome guy, and he's only about like 5'9". He's not that tall. So
did you sob a little bit? Did you sob?
Yeah. And fuck all those haters that excuse my language, that called me that cosplayed I was too short to be Darth Maul. I heard that shit at the convention. You're like, is Darth Maul supposed to be that short at 5'7"? Huh? And I walked by. I was like, yeah, I was like, what the fuck? How do you know, bitch? Yeah, some guy was like, dude, Darth Maul is short. Like, he's not that short. And like
Why
5'7".
were
I'm like, dude, I'm
Dang.
5'7". With the boots, I was like 5'9", exactly at Ray Park's height. I'm like, you guys don't know jack. Anyway, but enough of my rants. But yeah, I'm just letting you know he's awesome and down to earth. I mean,
really
come
cool.
on. They were about to
Yeah.
hire him to play as Chuck Norris too. I don't know whatever happened to that.
Ray Park is awesome. He played Snake Eyes too. Come on.
He's Snake Eyes.
fucking-
He's
Fucking
Toad.
love Snake Eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes is awesome.
That's a franchise I would reboot. If I won $1 billion tomorrow, and it's like, oh well, you can make a movie, but you can't make an original movie. You have to reboot something, right? That's what I would reboot G.I. Joe, because I feel like G.I. Joe could actually be, and I think Retaliation, like they tried to make it a legitimate franchise, and it just was almost like too late by that point. They should do G.I. Joe. Damn it.
You would make Jose super proud. Oh my goodness. He talks about G.I. Joe nonstop like there's no
wow.
tomorrow.
He does love G.I. Joe. So do I, though. I would say I'm a huge Yo-Joe fan. Love G.I. Joe. But anyways, I'm just painting some red here. What is going on with the Demon Jester J? Good night. Good night, buddy. I did not heat her. I did not. Oh, hi, Jar Jar. What the hell? I think he was also the headless horseman in Sleepy Hollow.
Oh.
Before Walken, or I'm sorry, after Walken gets his head cut off. Walken is just the head in Sleepy Hollow, and Rape. Damn, that's kind of a perfect human being. If you have Walken as the head of the person, and then Ray Park as the body of the person. Oh. Yep. Cool. Are you doing any painting, Dizzy?
Yep, I'm painting my orcs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Are we not allowed to watch?
What?
Are we not allowed to see? We're not allowed
I don't
to
have my
watch.
camera hooked up, and then my like headset let go today finally. And
Oh, that's a bummer. Okay. All good.
yeah. I just don't feel like changing my camera. It's on my computer, so I'm at my painting desk.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Yeah.
no footage for you guys. I'll
All
post
good.
pictures on Instagram eventually.
Am I doing it?
I have like
this.
4 more of the little guys left to do, and then I have 5 or 6 big ones, and that's my whole army.
And you're doing tartan on all of them?
All the ones that have the fabric skirts. There's a selection of them that it looks like almost like made out of straw or something or other like that. So they're done a little differently.
Oh wow, that's cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing with this guy. But yeah, I don't know. That was just my because like my whole YouTube feed now is just like, why The Last Jedi has ruined Star Wars forever and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I see your point.
talking about it.
I see your point, but the whole like, let's appeal on behalf of better writing and stuff. I like the realist in me is like, no, somebody made that decision that we, in order for the franchise to continue, that they almost kind of need the passionate people to go away. You know what I mean? Like they almost they're like, we have the median demographic that we want. We have a new generation of people that are sort of in the franchise now. And then we also have, like Nelson was saying, we also have this avenue to kind of put in whatever sort of agenda we'd like to inject. We don't make Star Wars conscientious, you guys.
Yeah, you're right. Whatever happened to that it was okay for you to, kiss your own sister and find out later that she's your sister, that type of thing,
No,
No, I'm just kidding.
That's right.
That's so fucking awkward.
Game of Thrones got nothing on them. They they did that shit first.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, and then all the Ray criticism is at an all-time high right now. Like, so many
What do
people
they have to criticize
like,
her for?
the whole Mary Sue thing. Like, you know, she didn't
She's a
hasn't like struggled so much.
Yeah.
She hasn't trained really. Like, she's had like 2 days worth of training, and she can fly the Millennium Falcon better than Han Solo, and she's like,
Because
she
we
can
live
beat.
in a world of feminists. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, but my wife said something kind of interesting to me. She's like, wow, that's insulting, actually, from a feminist point of view. Like, are you saying, you know, it's just going to get handed to us? Like, it's almost patronizing. I'm like, word, that's exactly what that is. You know what I mean? Like, that's
Because if you guys
But that's-
recall that in Empire Strikes Back, Episode 5, how much training had Luke gone through? And he's a
Yeah.
Skywalker, you know,
and he fails.
and he failed
You know, yeah.
time after time after time,
Yeah,
right?
struggles.
And then he had incomplete training, which Yoda told him how dangerous it is to go up to face a Sith when you have incomplete training. First of all, due to the temptation. Second of all, incomplete training leads to unskilled combat, right? Anything could happen. And he got his hand chopped off. And then he almost got lured to the dark side, right? So
Yep.
for Rey, with his poor writing, whatever it is, maybe not poor writing, maybe the marketing knows something I don't. Maybe Ryan Johnson's a genius. You know, I just can't. No, I'm serious. Maybe he's a genius. I just can't comprehend his fucking script, right?
It's just too
Maybe.
advanced for us.
Right? And then
Yeah.
for a fanboy like me, appreciate what Star Wars came from and what has become prior to this, and then to see this episode going in, just like, well, what just happened? Like, Rey just completely top Skywalker, Luke at least, right? And just made me feel like, well, yeah. Granted, I don't like the midichlorians, right?
Sure.
Because you feel like you absolutely need to be the chosen one at all time to have the highest midichlorians to become a powerful Jedi. But I get that this one they're trying to do away with that, right? Anybody could become Rey now, but don't you think that's a little
Which
bit
is
awkward?
kind of a cool. Yeah, I think it's a cool message, but I don't think. I think they're screwing up. It's a cool idea. Like, you don't have to be from, you know, some prestigious bloodline to be important. That's good, but then it's like, well, yeah, but then it's the opposite message. Well, now you just either have talent and can beat everyone, or you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you don't have to train. You
don't need to
you don't have to
train
worry
or
about
anything like that.
Jedi teachings or anything. You're just good. You're just good. That's almost the worst message. You know, it's like, oh, I want to be a professional basketball player when I grow up. Well, you are 6'9", and you do have the right build, but you know what? Genetically, you don't have it. Forget it. Never mind. Like, don't work out. Because that guy over there, he didn't work out. He didn't do anything, but he's
that's
better
the generation
than Michael
nowadays. They
Jordan.
would expect everything to be handed to them on a silver platter and
that's a good
never
point.
actually
It's
do
always,
any hard work to achieve anything.
And always been
Maybe
told that you're special, right? And I think that's the message that Disney were trying to create, that, oh, it's just so magical. You could be a nobody, yet you can possess all these powers. You're just so magical and so special.
It's perfect that you use the word magical.
Yeah, I mean, that's you know, that is their slogan, that they make magic, if you think about it. So like, in a way that they're trying to make Rey magical, it's like, well, what happened to all that hard work and training?
Yeah, but I still believe that, you know, my theory, you know what I think, it was all lies. It's just them trying to manipulate her, trying to make her lose hope.
There's a possibility. And if Ryan...
Wait, what's your theory? I want to hear your theory.
Well, okay, have you seen
Snoke was manipulating them when they were interacting together, Rey and Ben.
Yeah.
And he had made them see things. So he made Ben see that Rey's parents were nobody, so that he would tell that to Rey, and Rey would lose hope. And then Rey would be susceptible to the dark side of the Force. And that's all a lie. And you're going to find out in the next episode that there's more to Rey.
Yeah, I
Whether
mean,
the
there's that
parents are somebody
possibility.
important or not, I don't think they're dirtbags. Maybe those dirtbags existed. Maybe Ray's parents got killed, or she got taken away from her parents or something, and that maybe that did happen, where she was, sold off to those junk people, whatever the fuck they were called. But I still think that what Ben told her about her parents was a lie.
Okay, I think that's a cool theory.
Yeah,
I don't.
that's a decent
I
theory.
think some fans are so salty that they may not buy it. They're like, "No, you didn't mean that." Well, it looks like they're backing out of it in the third movie. Like, no, her parents
Yeah,
were something.
because I
But
mean,
that's just fans.
yeah, yeah.
I want to read this Cameron comment. Another day, another Star Wars rant. Everyone should just shut the fuck up. Fucking ship went light speed into another ship, and the result was fucking glorious. And the reason why you go to the movies. That was kind of my earlier point, Cameron.
Yeah,
Like
he
that
just
shot
made
was
your
so
point.
amazing. That's why people would go to the movies, and that's
And that
my idea
shot has
for
so
saving
many
the
issues.
yes,
Man,
my I had this idea. I was telling my friend, like, if they really want to save the theater industry, what they should do is they should offer they should offer Cliff Notes movies, right?
Terrible.
What they should do is take all their best shots, like instead
That's
just
what they
charge
do in
$6 a
previews.
ticket. Well,
They
yeah,
do
but
that
but
already in
imagine it's a
previews.
45-minute preview, right? So you get just
It's just
enough
horrible.
it's almost like there would be still screens kind of telling you, stringing you from one scene to the next. So you go to the theater, you're in and out of there for 45 minutes, but you get your skirt blown up by these fucking crazy scenes and good sound, and you get the whole
That's
experience. And if
horrible.
you don't want to like think about an actual story, which I think a lot of people these days are getting more and more receptive to, it's a very
They're
efficient
brain dead. They need to be spoon fed everything. Yes.
yeah, then you can go into I mean, that's how I felt about like when I actually sat down and watched Kong Skull Island because Jose told me to
Dave,
do it.
if you pay
What?
an extra $2, do you have a personal porter to wipe up your drool as you sit there?
But yeah, so Jose's like, I put Kong Skull Island on your computer. I was like, what? Okay. So I sat there and watched it, and I watched the movie. I'm like, this is the dumbest piece of trash I think I've ever seen. I feel like I'm dumber having watched it now. And then I went back and I watched and I watched the trailer for it. I just went back and watched the trailer. I'm like, oh, the trailer's like all the best damn scenes. And
Yeah,
so,
that's why I don't watch
and
trailers.
that's kind of where it dawned on me. I'm like, well, all they're really doing is like, you could tell they wanted this shot. They didn't care about the actual story. They just wanted the shot of like, these like crazy dinosaur things snapping up people. Like they just wanted that shot. It had nothing to do with Kong or Skull Island or whatever the hell you want. They just wanted the shot. And that's how it went for the whole trailer. And so I'm like, well, that makes sense to me then, because like the studio was like, here's a collection of shots that we like. We think they're going to be amazing. We technically have the budget and the know-how to do it. And you assholes in the corner figure out how to string it together, right? We're going to pay you jack shit, and you guys figure out how to do it. So I am dead inside. What the hell? Oh, never mind. What's up, Blade Wolf?
like,
I don't know. That's kind of, but I do think like we're gonna get to the point where it's like, you know what, fuck it. We know you guys like special effects shots, and we're gonna do a bunch of special effects shots, and just come to the movie theater and just watch that, and be done in 45 minutes, and that's about the attention span you got anyway. Let's just do it.
I really can't tell if Cameron's being sarcastic about that hyperspeed.
No, he did like. I mean, apparent. I haven't seen it, but apparently that is a really amazing shot of the ship going warp speed into the other ship.
Oh God!
What's up, Kevin? Oh, okay.
You're
I
getting
haven't
us
seen it.
started.
Guys.
Don't get me started. Yes, I agree. It's a beautiful shot, but that shit doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, it doesn't make
this shit is all fantasy, but the reason being is if that could have happened, then you don't need to sacrifice 4 squads of X-wing, Y-wing, and A-wing bombers going up against Death Star. You could have just done that shit, warp it directly at any target you want. just based on calculations.
They could be
Anyway.
manning ships with droids and having them go through all the opposing forces.
You don't even need to have anyone
taking
sit
out
in
entire
a ship.
fleets.
You can just have an autopilot, just like what Han Solo says. Like disengaging the autopilot in asteroid field can resolve in whatever, right? And then it tells C-3PO to shut the fuck up. Don't tell me the odds. Then like why can't you have like a cool clone of R2-D2 that can calculate this, put it in a freaking powerful bomber ship, and calculate the warp speed and just warp like 5 kilometers away from where you were just at and blow up a Death Star? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Plus, bombs drop in space.
Well, hey. I like to think of that scene. Those bombs were magnetized. Exactly.
Yeah.
Magnetized.
They're magnetized. Okay, I'll buy that.
Because the reason why I thought of that, because the rails, as soon as that Asian girl pulled that trigger, the way they were dropped, it was sequential. They wouldn't drop at the same time. They would drop roll by roll. Like, I mean, if you're just talking about free fall, there's no such a thing in space, right? So in order for those bombs to drop roll by roll or column by column, whatever you call it, that's what is shown in the film. It seems like they were magnetized.
Okay.
So slowly getting magnetized and went like a full 360 from the ship and dropped them bomb on the dreadnoughts. So, I mean that's cool. And yes, I do agree that hyperspace thing was a cool shot, but man, that shit does not make any sense to me.
I agree.
Yep. We just got really quiet.
Yeah.
I'm painting. Are you painting also?
We're busy.
I'm trying to paint this. I'm trying to paint the objectives now.
Are you? What are you painting?
For the Walking Dead All-Out War miniatures objectives.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That I bought for a long time ago. By the way, is this Thomas Wayne yours, Octave?
No, this belongs to Chris.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good. At least they're keeping you busy because I haven't been.
Yeah, me and Chris played. We played a game on Thursday, which is pretty cool.
Very nice.
I played against his Gordon crew with my Court of Owls, and we were both rusty as hell.
No, are you referring?
That was like an idiot slap fight. That game was hilarious.
Are you referring the old Gordon or the new Gordon?
The old Gordon.
Okay.
One thing I noticed about second edition Batman is every time it feels like I'm getting my ass kicked, I'm winning the game. I don't know. Did you have you had that experience? Where it's like, God, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. And then we're looking at the scoreboard and I'm up by like 15 points.
Yeah, by achieving the objectives, that's all you have to do.
Because I'm like sitting on the objective and like people come by and just start beating the shit out of my guys. And I can't do anything about it because I want my point because I'm a greedy bastard. And I'm like, God, I haven't like that game went that way. Like I didn't kill a single guy, but I was up for most of the game. I was up by like 15 or more points.
Nice.
And and he had Gordon like raining fire down on the guys, but he kept failing the sniper roll, which was hilarious.
Look at Congo's comment. Well,
just read it because I don't have it up. Or
okay.
Something I'm seeing.
Yeah, because I know you're backing the heck out of Joan Arc, so he's saying that he's thinking about magnetizing my Joan Arc bus head so I can swap the helmets and regular heads. It's a pretty good idea.
For which pieces?
He didn't specify, but
because they are 16 millimeter, they're very tiny.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they come in pieces. They might. I don't know. I don't know the need for it. Magnetizing. I'm not really into magnetizing minis. I don't know. You
haven't played enough War Machine. You will want to magnetize stuff. That was like the most fun I had with War Machine? Well, I like magnetizing the jacks, and then I also liked allocating focus, and then the rest of the game can fuck off. After that, I used to play the game and like at the start of the turn, oh yeah, I'm giving 3 focus to this jack and 2
I
there,
like
and I would just get up and leave. I'm like, that's it. The game is no good to me after that.
I like the idea of magnetizing minis if like your mini levels up or changes weapons or stuff. Like I've seen some fantasy minis where like depending on like the quest you're going on or whatever like you're doing, you can swap out different arms and stuff like that to give them different weapons. Or they even showed like giving them a pint of beer and stuff like that when they're in the tavern and
That's
stuff
awesome.
just to play out the story. I thought that was really cool. Stuff like that I'm into, but I don't know. I'd rather just have my minis assembled otherwise.
That
Like
almost makes me want to play D&D. Just what you're describing right there.
I know, right? It would be awesome, but you guys don't want to fucking play, so fuck all y'all. Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
he's
know why
talking
they
about the
magnetized the
Infinity Joan
Joan
of
of
Arc.
Arc minis
Huh.
because there's like enough of everybody, I thought. I don't know. Why do you want to do that, Congo? It was Congo who said that, right?
Yeah.
I'll just give it a few minutes and then maybe he'll explain if he's feeling up to it. Maybe he's just cursing me to death right now.
I like Cameron's comment. Was the most fun you had with War Machine after you sold them all off? Because that's when I had the most fun.
Damn.
I did sell a lot of War Machine, but that was more me. Like I used to buy like people's like used armies that were unpainted, and they would sell them for like a song, and I would paint them up and then resell them. So yes, you're right. That is the most fun I've had playing War Machine.
You're like dancing
Like,
in money
wow.
then. Shit.
Yeah, I paid $15 for this 50-point army, and I turned around and sold it for 200. That's awesome.
You were like, I fucking hate this piece away.
That is the best part of War Machine. Now that you bring it up,
Hilarious.
let's see. Yeah, he's talking about the Infinity character bust, but I still don't understand why you would. Oh, okay. So it's more like it's like a display piece, and if you want to have the helmeted version on, that makes sense. Like those little, like those anime
So he's not
figurines.
talking about Joan of Arc?
No, he's talking about Joan of Arc in Infinity.
Oh, gotcha.
The Infinity character.
Okay. I was confused because I was like, I don't understand
Why would you do that?
Yeah, for Joan of Arc. Like I do understand sometimes there's a point to doing that, but yeah. Okay, that's a pretty cool idea, yeah.
I still want to paint a bust.
I'll be selling some more anime figs. Throughout January, I'll be posting a bunch and just basically selling them off. So keep an eye out.
I should be.
That.
Yeah, I should have my finances stabilized pretty soon here because we just finished paying the property taxes and
property taxes.
Once Philippines trip is over and I get my bonus and then we're good again. I get to be a kid again. All right. Yeah. I am interested. I did tell you, like, I am interested in your Krampus crew.
Yeah.
Just because it would be cool to have Krampus. If we are gonna end up playing Eden.
For sale before Christmas or anything like that, so I don't think they would really sell right now. But yeah, if you're interested, we can make a deal or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Is Eden going to become a thing? It might be. We'll see. I don't know.
I can't afford to get into it too deep right now, but I'm going to hold on to the Immortals. And maybe, after I move and all that sort of stuff, might get into it. We'll see.
Those guys do look really cool.
Thank you.
Those
I haven't finished working on them. I wanted to, but I just got into painting my orcs, and I was like really into painting the orcs.
Are the Immortals Asian theme? Like, are they supposed to be Asian, or they're just like singularity type?
I don't think so. They're cyber humans, and they have a bunch of different heads and different weapons, and I just made them kind of look that way because I
Oh,
thought they
cool.
looked pretty
Okay.
cool that way. Yeah, I like their helmet, hat. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Looks like a helmet because it looks like it's made out of metal.
Sure.
And yeah, a lot of body parts, there's like mechanical and stuff on them. And I decided to make the spear double-ended like that. It's actually because I screwed up and put the one piece on the wrong end, and I was like, I like it there. I don't want to move it. And then I was like, I'll just add a spearhead to the bottom. So it worked out. I'm actually gonna plug in my camera.
It does actually look if you told me that's how the model came, I would have believed it. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Just a little putty, a bit of pinning, and it all worked out.
Somehow I feel like I cheated on this mini, but it does look like almost done.
Nice.
Like, I didn't do a whole lot to him. Could use another highlight on the gray, but other than that, I am cheating.
Yeah, something like that. But there's not too much to do to him, right?
Yeah, I looked at the art example, and it's like there's like nothing to this guy. But then again, this is about the right amount of time I spend painting Batman on for the Batman game. Like usually, like Batfleck usually only takes like 20 minutes to paint Batfleck.
I hid my camera because I don't want it to turn on to the wrong camera when I click this, because it probably will.
Like,
and
no.
It did. Haha. Let's see if it'll actually turn it on, because usually it doesn't. There we go. It did. Look at that.
I thought Andrew was going to jump on because I know he was painting like all day today, or that was the plan, right? Okay. He said he was going to be painting. He was going to be painting Nids the whole day. Well, we'll see.
His army must be getting quite large.
I would think so. That's Andrew.
What am I doing here? What the heck? Cam software.
Like I haven't been buying much to paint, but that's because I still have so much stuff to catch up on.
Yeah, I don't need to buy anything for a long time. I'm hoping to get enough money together to go all in for Joan of Arc, but that is still questionable.
Sure. Makes sense.
Let's see how that goes. I have to...
Uh-oh.
I blacked out my camera because I have to actually load the webcam software, and you need to have the camera off to do it.
Oh,
so
got
I
it,
can calibrate the colors and stuff. And it's really
yes, Albert. This is no. This is. I'm sorry. This is not Nelson's. This is Chris's Flashpoint. They all assume it's. Different. They just assume anything I paint from now on. Anything Batman belongs to Nelson.
You'll end up just giving it to him anyway. You'll be like, "Here, you're done."
Chris is like, "Where are my minis?" I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Like I just deliver them to Nelson out of habit. Yeah. Here's your minis. He doesn't say anything. He's like, "Yeah, those are my minis."
It's like, yeah, Christmas is over and all. Octave is being awfully, generous here.
It's like, whoa.
Every month's Christmas, I guess.
I didn't even have to bring him minis that time. He just painted some and gave them to me.
That's hilarious.
Best commission painter ever.
Too funny. There we go.
How did you know I wanted all these things?
Because it's Batman.
Yeah, but
of course he would want them.
I know. Nelson, have you talked to Chris about magic in Batman?
No, I haven't seen Chris until since that what's the Extra Life event or something.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's saying that it's really broken right now, and to stay away from magic.
We're talking about that Asian Chris, right? That brought 2 of its Batman friends that day. Okay, good.
Yep.
Yeah, I have heard that it's very broken, and Even from the group, what is it, Arkham City Limit Group? I've seen
Yeah.
the comments saying that. But you know what I've been thinking though, Octave? This is why I
Yeah.
told Leah. You know how I really was looking forward for the Harry Potter minis,
Yeah.
and how they said, well, Nine Models said they were supposed to be out by fall of 2017, and it's like almost January of 2018. I
Yeah. Good
think
job,
that,
Knight.
well, I think what I'm thinking is that they are using the feedbacks and the review of Magic and Batman built on the experience for or the rule play for Harry Potter.
That's pretty likely.
This is just the beta
That's
for
right.
them right now, so you know what I mean. Kind of test
Because
things
they did
out.
that. Yeah, they did that with Batman version 1. They used it. They used the feedback from that to make version 2
DC.
Batman and DC. Yeah.
Yep. So I think that's what's been postponed. That's why we haven't seen anything about
Well, that's cool
Harry
though
Potter.
if they do that. It'll make a better game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, of course.
So I'm down with that.
And perhaps since we now finally see the products of resin kits for Batman, it totally makes sense now that they're waiting to see how the quality is, if it's going to be consistent or whatnot, until Harry Potter comes out, because they did say that all Harry Potter minis are going to be resin.
That makes sense.
So they're just
Yeah.
gonna be waiting for the consistency of the quality of these models and then the gameplays as well. So if that's true, if my theory is
Mhm.
correct, then it's definitely gonna make a much better game.
Sure. These are super detailed minis. But I do agree. Like they're almost too realistic. Like if you look at Enchantress, like she is tiny.
Yeah,
Uh,
very
That's a
delicate.
and those damn ankles just terrify me. Like I'm afraid to actually even just put a brush on that. I think I'm gonna like
yeah.
worried I'm gonna snap it.
I
Like
think
It's not that easy, but
I think
yeah,
Disney was worried about that too when she was painting the Harley Quinn, because she wanted to do a customization base, so she cut off the slit in between. That
yep.
yeah.
so yeah, she was telling me that how like fragile it could be, but yeah, I can only imagine if you drop that piece from pretty high altitude, you could possibly
Enchantress,
break.
yeah.
Yeah, you can possibly break her legs.
Or if let's say you had her in your car, and it's hot that day, and she starts to lean on that on those little ankles.
Yeah, you
Like
don't
even
want to
the
have plastic or resin minis in your car. That gets too hot. I would say don't do that.
that's
It's
the
a
stuff
bad
that
idea.
scares me. It's like, oh, because
Yeah.
I even have that problem with the animated series stuff, and the tiny ankles that those models have. Like that,
Really?
uh, well, not so much the heat, but like just being
Okay.
in my case, they'll
Mhm.
bounce around a little bit and they'll start to bend along their ankles.
Yeah. And although you can bend like metal minis a little bit, you can't really bend them much. That stuff tends to be brittle and it doesn't actually bend, it kind of cracks.
Yeah, it
Right.
just has
Yeah.
tiny cracks, and eventually it will break off.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is
That
stronger
scares
though.
me.
I got my orcs down that I've painted so far.
Nice.
Well, Albert, if you're still listening,
These are the
guess what I got into, Albert?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
these are the straw thingies.
Leah knows, and I'm waiting right now.
Ah,
I got it for a
ah.
deal, and anyway, I'm just waiting
And we're
until.
both super excited.
Yeah. If it's gonna get pushed back 6 months from now, I'm definitely gonna have Octave ping for it. If it's not gonna be
What?
a cheap in the next like maybe 3 months or 6 months, depends. No, Albert, I got a little bit of Walking Dead All Out War. It's fun.
Oh,
It's very
sweet.
very fun. It's very very fun. It
Well, you
allows
are
solo
into
play.
Guild Ball
So. Oh
because of
yeah,
Andrew.
yeah. And I feel bad. I have yet to play a game since then because I actually have been studying about my licensing test. So,
Oh
but
yeah,
once that's all done,
we know.
and we're gonna have a huge celebration once I pass that test, and we can guild ball the whole weekend, Batman the whole weekend, have beer with
Just
alcohol and
hookers and
pizza.
blow. Just
Yeah.
kidding. It's like-
Yeah, that ivory stuff, like that police was harassing me going through my car,
yeah,
searching my
holy shit.
body. Yeah, it cost me $2,000 as of now. Asshole.
Oh my god.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Officer Miller. If you're listening to Octave's channel, go fuck yourself.
He watches the show.
$2,000. Asshole.
That's how he knew who to pull over. He was like, oh, that guy's on Octave's show. he
He was
pulled you
shitting on GW. I'm a hardcore GW fan. I'm gonna pull him
Oh
over.
god.
Righteous brother.
They
You're
would have thrown
officially
me in
fucked.
jail already then. That was-
Probably.
You better watch out.
mhm. They would have
Next thing
sent
you
me
have
over to
20
Bubba.
police cars.
God, yeah. We heard you was talking shit, bro. Let me tell you something about the Emperor, bro. They would have they would have fucked my world. Relic. Oh god.
Over.
Asking a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he's saying because him and I we did agree that the mini seems a bit squished.
Oh, on Walking
Um,
Dead, they do look a little like squished a
but-
little bit. I would agree.
Yeah, but it just like after a while I got used to them, and the fact that King Ezekiel and has a pet tiger in the comics in the film, they make King Ezekiel with the tiger Shiva mini. It's just like, oh, that's freaking awesome. Oh man, you can literally use a tiger to hunt down zombies and stuff, man.
Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
pretty sweet.
Yeah, and then it's multi-faction too. So technically, you can have the Rick's group, the Scavengers, the Negan Saviors, and all that. They actually
That's
make
cool.
an all-out war game like the title. So,
Nice.
and then the cool part is that most, like 90% of the time, no one controls zombie. The zombie
Yeah.
behave by themselves, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's cool. It does look really good.
The gameplay is good. Yeah, you're correct, Albert. The gameplay is good. It's nothing I ever play in terms of game mechanics. You can say it's a bit similar to Zombie Side, the way the zombie react, but due to that it's not a board game segregated by tiles. When it's not segregated by tile, they move freely or they roam freely on the miniature board. The zombies are pretty cool. Pretty cool element.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Hit that vape before every paint, bro. Cameron. That's funny. Oh man. Congo too soon, man. Too soon. Not okay, buddy.
Dude,
Yes.
Congo,
So
not
harsh.
cool, man. You have no
Not
idea.
okay.
Yeah, you
Hashtag
have no
too
idea
soon.
that. Yeah, you have no idea what that officer has fucked me over by how much.
Yeah.
To the point where
What did
now
he
my
say?
car's. Well, he's saying I hope he pulls you over again. I'm sure he's just fucking.
He's just
around.
joking, but still, yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
You
really
have
fucked
no
up
idea
story,
the
man.
severity of how fucked up he was, and he could have just
Yeah.
given me off on warning. But yeah, anyway.
You probably, if you're gonna do what we were talking about last night, you may not want to go into detail here, if you know what
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, I don't want to go
No,
into
he is
detail.
not going to do that. That is a
Yeah, I'm not
stupid
going
move.
to.
Yeah.
The last thing is have like 1 in a million trillion chance of stumbling upon this, and then gets me fucked over even more.
Yeah, God. It's
Well,
still
any
like
of his buddy, right?
that was like making me mad today. I was like thinking about it, like what the Jesus. Like I was so I
It's
was like,
costing me so much too. Like
Yeah.
now I don't have a car. I gotta wait, and luckily Jason, Octave, right after you dropped me off, Jason was talking to me about it, and I told him about the whole spiel. And apparently, he knows a bit of knowledge about that due to his younger years in college, getting his car toes and stuff, or the sorority parties, or frat parties and stuff.
Sure.
He actually said that I do not need to keep my car in the pound for 30 days. That's just the
that
way.
just sounded like bullshit. Yeah.
So
Extremely expensive.
there's a way around that. The way around that is to visit the nearest city hall and visit the chief officer to sign off the agreement that it has been fixed since it's not a DUI. It just
Yeah.
off something small like a violation and misdemeanor by not having to pay a ticket that was like 3 years ago that I lost track, and
Mm-hmm.
and then the fact that I took such a initiative action to fix it literally the day after, it would be up to the chief officer to sign it off. As soon as signed off, I'm able to go pick up my car. And the reason why that the 30 days that we talked about is because they get a bit bonus and commission on the side to fund
Yup.
the payroll. So anyway, I'm just gonna cut it
That's
off.
some
But
that
yeah,
is some dirty shit. Is all I gotta say about that.
so Tuesday I have a shot to get that taken care of, but it's only a shot, not a guarantee. If the chief
Right.
officer refuses to do so, which yes, this is prerogative, is right, but that's very dickish for him to do so. If he does say no, because I don't see why he would say no, but if he still decides to say no, then my car will literally sit there for 30 days and then get charged up to wazoo. We're talking about $1,000 here, 3,000
Oh
probably.
yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
just fucking wild, man. Wow. Yep. So some stank shit happening.
some corrupted,
in this,
stinky shit.
Yeah. It's cool that we live in, one of the safest places in the country, but cops need something to do in one of the safest places in the country, and it's fuck over people over traffic stop shit. Garbage.
Yeah, that's the least to put it. And you know what? I am grateful that I'm alive and I kept my head cool, because last thing is that I need to the last thing I need to just be agitated, since after all that questioning me on unnecessary all that shit. If I was agitated, I could just be one of those ones that probably possibly get shot. So
Speaking
Yeah.
of people getting shot by the cops, did you guys hear? I don't know where it happened, if it was in Canada or the States, but I just saw a little bit of it when I was walking by the TV. Somebody did one of those SWAT call-in things, like the prank calls where they pretend that
Oh yeah.
somebody's
I
shooting
just
somebody
saw
else or
that.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then the police showed up and they ended up shooting a guy, and he hadn't done anything. He didn't know anything that was going on. Somebody had crank called it in. They did track down who crank called it in, but I mean, the guy's still dead.
It was
Wait,
like
what happened?
People, usually it's like SJWs and like assholes like that do this sort of thing if they don't like your views and stuff like that. Well, this isn't what happened this time, but it's usually where you hear about it. They will call the police and say, oh, so-and-so's got a gun or blah, 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 blah. And this time, apparently, they pretended to be the guy in the house and said, oh, I don't know who they said they shot, but I shot blah, blah, and I'm going to kill everybody else, and I'm armed and this and that. And so the police showed up with the SWAT team, and they told him like to step out of the house with his hands up, and I guess he put his hands down or something, and they shot him instantly, even though they weren't even near him, and they killed him. And it was all just a bullshit call.
Without
it was in Kansas, according to Dave.
Now this is what I mean, though. Instead of protect and serve and de-escalate things, they escalate things to the point where shots needs to be fired. Now, regardless of what your stance are, but I feel like if you're really out there and you sworn the oath to protect and serve, right? Wouldn't you trying to just try to keep it cool, to keep calm, to do whatever it takes not to pull that trigger, right?
They need to go through better training so that they're equipped to do that, so that their nerves don't get the better of them or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're technologically, we have all kinds of shit to suppress, to put people down, like non-lethal methods, and we're developing new ones all the time. And it's like, well, you're still gonna. First option is your gun, still. Like that's the police training, and that's
how many times have you seen a person that got shot just wearing a tank top? You're telling me that you can't double taser him, or 2 police officers taser a person, like to take him down. Why do you need to resort to actual
They
bullet?
always have their guns drawn instead of their tasers or whatever.
Exactly.
Like,
So I mean, yes, granted, their life is on the line. They're out
I
there to
get that.
protect us, but once you make that swarm to serve and protect, that pulling that trigger should be your last resort, right?
They're not
Yep.
the judge and they're not the executioner, and they should not act like it.
And
I
yeah,
get that they have very, very risky, stressful jobs. And
Yeah,
stuff.
it was over Call of Duty. That's what I heard too, Albert. It was a Call of Duty matchup, and some stupid kid swatted, somebody and got them killed.
It wasn't really
Oh,
that
wow.
young. The guy didn't look that young at all, and he called in some other shit like that for I can't remember what it was. They said that he did something similar before.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a kid. It wasn't.
Wow.
I mean, unless you're
was
calling
it?
somebody who's 20-some, 30-some years old a kid, because he didn't look
wow.
like a kid.
Interesting.
That's crazy. I need to be more careful now when I talk shit about other people on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
God.
God, there's some Star Wars fans swatting my house right now. With the GW fan, they're both. There's 2 of them. There's a Star Wars fan and a GW fan. They're swatting my house right now. Fuck that guy. We got this guy. Dare he talks about Reboot Gulliam in that way. And I fucking love vaping too. And they're like,
oh goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bad person. That's fine.
Yeah.
Jeebus. Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel like there's not much to be done on this guy. Like, he's pretty.
You're still working on him?
I know, right?
You keep being like, he's
This
done. And I look up and you're
I'm just like messing around. I was trying to figure out how I'm going to do the how to do the cobblestone, because I want to have the cobblestone patterns be different. Like the one I do for Nelson is specific to Nelson, and the one I do for other people will be specific to them, so I can tell. Just so, like, let's say I happen to paint the same mini for 2 different people, and they have them both on the same table. Like, fuck, which one was mine? Just so they know.
I signed Nelson special for him.
You autograph the bottom. Yeah,
I do.
that's awesome.
It's in what did I use? Plaster or something? I can't remember what I used. Or did I use green stuff?
Green stuff.
I can't remember what I used.
That's cool. That's pretty awesome. This is
I did tell you to do so too, Octavia. I think you were just too shy to carve your initial on the bottom, man.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I did tell
I
you
also
to.
dated it.
I did tell you to carve your initial on the very first meeting that you ever paid me for Batman, but you never did. So I just figured you're probably just too shy to do
somebody
so.
else told me to do that just so that it doesn't, like, people don't go around like
Take
advertising
right?
that's like, oh, I'm a commission painter, here's what I do.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that happen.
Oh wow.
Or what you can do is do PIP from now on. Under the minis that you do,
like that.
Just do like a
Yeah.
I don't know. Use any brush, any color, just write PIP on the bottom. At least that way I can track
He had a
mine.
little stamp too.
Yeah. For that.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. It just it never really it wasn't until people started to explain that, like, I was like, yeah, that seems kind of dumb. I wouldn't sign my own mini or whatever. But then people had like really good reasons. Like, no, there are people that will,
Take your word.
they'll try to resell, like they'll try to sell their services, saying that that's their work or whatever.
That's pretty fucked up.
I don't know that anyone would win a painting contest with any of my stuff, because it's just not for that. But somebody might. They might win.
I have heard of the painting contest thing. Somebody was at a I don't know, he was at the painting contest and commented on someone's mini, like, hey, that's a nice mini. And the person was just like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, yeah, I painted that.
That happened. That happened at one of the local cons here. Actually,
Wow.
the same thing. That the guy, he entered a painting contest with a model that he had commissioned, and the guy that painted it happened to be at the convention and saw it.
Oh,
And he saw one of his pieces entered in the competition and told the judges what had happened.
good.
And then the other guy, the other guy just broke out, like he disappeared.
Did he even collect his mini?
No, I don't think so. He just like he got wind of being reported and just left.
Yeah, because that looks so bad on him. Like people will be like, "Oh, who's that guy? Where is he?"
Yeah.
Seriously.
That is probably one of the saddest things like you could cheat on. It's like, yeah, I pretended I painted a miniature. Wow. For all the shit you could get caught doing. Like that's not really, you're not exactly bragging about that. What was that?
Some people are pretty crazy about those contests. Like,
yeah, because it's free shit.
Yeah, you get some free shit. But people who like the quality of the minis that people submit nowadays are so damn good. You have to put a lot of work into that.
Yeah.
The amount of time and work you put into that, it's like, I'm just gonna buy this shit, man. It costs me less over, like, factor in how much your time is worth.
Hence why I don't paint my shit.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
My skill level is nowhere near as you guys, so
it's
once.
For a second, I thought you said to write PIMP. What the hell?
Who said that? I don't see it on the chat.
Albert.
Oh, that's weird. I don't see it on the chat.
That's pretty funny.
That's weird. That's funny though.
That's funny.
Albert. Oh man, I miss you, buddy. Once I have all this maybe painted a couple months from now, whenever it's done, you should play a game with me, man.
Yeah, and tell us when you're in Orange County, because I still have your Ninja All-Stars here for you to pick up. It's still sitting here. The one that you won back in November or whatever.
It's a while back already.
Yeah,
which reminds me, I have to send out the prizes for the contest as soon as I get freaking working. Probably actually won't be till February because I have to pay off a bunch of stuff and get caught up with things. I feel bad for those people. I was just kind of bad things hit all at the same time.
Yeah, Andrew's pissed, man. Just kidding.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. He's so distracted with all his turn-ins that I don't think he even remembers.
Yeah.
David. Good point, David. Good point. But the thing is that the reason why I don't paint my stuff is because I feel like that time it could be utilized for me to be actually playing the mini. So whenever I do have the time,
you got to make a value judgment, man.
Yeah, if you don't enjoy the process of painting and stuff like that, you're not into the hobby side of it. I get that.
I do like
for me to paint.
Yeah, I do like painting miniature terrains though, and constructing the terrains. That's something I do enjoy.
You can do the terrain. I'll do the minis. Well,
There you go. The next event, Albert, is I'm doing a blacksmith's launch event for Guild Ball on the 28th. It's a Sunday. That should be fun. That's probably going to be a real relaxing day. Just show up, play a couple games of Guild Ball. Maybe by that time we can have Nelson play his first game with the Hunters. Maybe we could do that.
Wait, when was that, Octave? Sorry, you got cut out on my end.
January 28th.
Ooh,
is the first. Is my next event.
Yeah,
And then
if the police officer doesn't sign off, January 28 will be the first day I can pick up my car.
oh.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
rough.
Thanks to those police officers. Hmm.
And then I also have to do a paint day too. So we're due for another paint
We
day.
haven't had one of those in a very long time.
Yeah, I'm supposed to do them once per quarter.
Oh,
And on Thursday, there were people in the store asking about it.
oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
They're like, "Don't you guys do paint day?" And then the staff just points at me. Talk to that asshole over there.
Nice.
Whenever he schedules it, that's when we do it.
Dang.
I'm
Oh, man.
sorry. Some guy came in and he's like, "Dude, I just bought 2 airbrushes. Can you show me how to use them?" I'm like, sure, show up to paint day. When's paint day? One of those. Yeah, Albert. Yeah, show up, dude. For that'll be fun. I'll actually, I don't know. I'm thinking about, since it's a ways away, maybe I'll buy a blacksmith's guild, another box, and paint one up, and so we have a blacksmith's team there that we could run. That would be fun. YouTube it. It feels better playing with minis you painted yourself, even to these two paint so well. Something to strive for. Yeah, I would agree with that. There's some personal satisfaction in playing stuff that you've painted yourself. But I also see the other side of it too. I think like yeah, because I know lots of people that are just like, okay, I love these games and I want to play only painted miniatures, but you know, I don't have much time to do this kind of stuff. And like in Nelson's case, like you said, like a big part of his hobby is doing the terrain side. And that's like
Yeah.
a side that I don't particularly like doing terrain. Like
I
when I
like
do
it, but I don't
terrain,
have the
like
space to get into it right now, so it would
mhm.
be nice to collab.
Like for me, I don't really like doing terrain. Like my main focus with terrain is I want it to be portable
Mm.
because I have some nice pieces of terrain, but they never leave this room, and that's fine. But you know, if I'm at the game store or whatever, I want to be able to throw all that in my backpack and just head over there.
Check out this guy. He's like so cool. The standard bearer.
Oh,
You can
cool.
see. He's got like 2 axes.
Are you gonna paint? Are you gonna paint like an icon or something in the banner?
Yeah, this is what their icon looks like. There's it on the box. It's probably really loud for you guys. Yay. It's a pretty bad little picture of it, but it's like a
It is
shield with
super
a
loud.
skull and some horns and stuff. That's their symbol.
Oh, that looks like the Hunters Guild logo. That looks just like the Hunters logo.
That's funny. Maybe it was a copy of it. I do not know.
It was meant to be.
This guy's pretty cool too. So,
I'm trying to get Massive Darkness painted before my Green Horde comes in. That is a lot of shit to try to get done, dude. Is it just the core set, or did you kickstart that? I was looking at Massive Darkness for you know, for either the Wednesday or Friday gaming on the channel, because it looks super fun. I do want a dungeon crawler. But that's like the core box for Massive Darkness is like 75 minis. That's a lot of shit, man. Yeah, it's just the core set. But even like I said, even the core set, 75 pieces. Like holy shit. And I
who's
was
painting
wavering
that?
between Dave.
Ah, cool.
I was wavering between Massive Darkness or Sword and Sorcery. And I think Massive Darkness is probably better for like more casual dungeon crawl. Also, apparently, I haven't been keeping up with Frostgrave much, but apparently there are co-op rules for Frostgrave now, which sounds amazing because I loved that game. For
What?
those of you who know what Frostgrave is,
Don't believe I do.
Frostgrave is it's a miniatures game by Osprey, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of like Mordheim, where you like put together a band of adventurers, and you have, but it's always led by a wizard, and the wizard is the only guy in the group that actually levels up, like gains experience and levels. The other guys, they really only gain equipment and that kind of thing. But it was a
Okay.
really interesting game. Like you pick for your sorcerer, you pick what schools he specializes in, and you can pick his stronghold, and that gives you different bonuses. And essentially, Frostgrave is kind of like Shadows of Brimstone in that you go into this like destroyed ancient city to try to get treasure out of. And so
Okay.
it was a traditional miniatures game where like you play kind of like Batman or whatever, but you're just, instead of trying to get objectives, you're trying to get treasure and trying to get the treasure off the board. And we used to play it quite a bit, but now they have it co-op, which I could only assume means either you play multiple war bands or people team up and play a single war band, which might be interesting. Like we might be able to stream that if that's. So I'm gonna go pick up the latest set of rules and see if you can do that, because that would be
Sadly,
fun.
I don't know when I'll be gaming again, you guys. Can't be staying up that late anymore.
Yeah, it's a bummer. But when you come back, when you can,
I'll
and
be back when I can. Just might be a while, unfortunately. The time difference is just too big.
yeah, I'm actually really grateful that you do stay up so late just to game with us, because I know that
I'm
that's
grateful that you
crazy.
guys have me. It's like really the only games I get in, right? So it's nice. Going to miss it.
Yeah, for me, it's like I had all these like board games just collecting dust. Like, oh, let's play these late at night. Doesn't count. Doesn't count against your my weekly game night, because everybody's asleep anyway, right? It's a good plan. But we'll still do that, where we can, and we got the Wednesday crew, and they do. We're probably going to pick up another player for Wednesdays as well. That should be good.
Yeah, if you're available like ever on the weekend or something like that, I'll still try to maybe game. Just have to be at like different hours and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'll host some on the side or something else.
On the weekends, I could do like super early mornings.
Mm-hmm. That'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be like on the weekends for now, but I don't know what my schedule will be like afterwards. So just kind of, yeah. And I don't even know if I'll be gaming till after I'm done all the training and stuff like that, because there's so much studying and things to do.
Sure. There's probably a lot of like bandwidth gone, and your brain will be mush.
Yeah, and I'll probably have to do a bit of studying on the weekend as well.
It's another reason why, the simpler games are better, because like the really complex games, you kind of need to be in person for.
Yeah.
There's just too much going on, and you have to track all this stuff. It's actually fairly impressive that we can kind of pull off Shadows of Brimstone, because there's a lot going on.
There is.
What was that?
I said you're pulling it off. I was like,
yeah, you do a good job pulling that out, Octave. So thank you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. super fun.
It
Yeah. Yeah, and sorry I kind of fell asleep. Like, well, I did fall
Did you
No
asleep.
worries,
really
dude.
do?
So it was just, man, I just had a rough day that day.
Yeah, don't
Oh, I
even
thought you were
sweat
saying
it.
you fell asleep now. I was
Oh
like,
no,
did you again?
no, earlier when we were
Yeah.
playing towards the end of Shadow of Brimstone, I was just, man, I just couldn't stay awake because the events
Okay.
prior.
I think everybody was kind of like that. We were all
Definitely.
pretty tired.
Yeah, it was a really rough day for you, so we get it.
Hmm. I was even shocked that we played at all because after what had happened, I was like, I don't think you guys are going to be in the mood to game. So I'm like, well, I'll just, I'll be ready to just do a paint live stream or whatever if we have to.
Yeah, and I
Just
figure
kind of,
like it's gonna be hard for Dizzy to game with us pretty much from now on until things settle too, right? Because her job started
yeah.
and all, so I didn't want to just be the party pooper. So
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
I
but
think
don't
so.
worry about that, dude. Like, dude, it's totally understandable. Like, I'm not feeling it tonight. I was totally expecting you to
Yeah.
say that. Like, I'm not feeling it tonight. I'm like, yeah, no sweat.
Yeah,
I
that would
did
have
too.
been.
Nelson woke up to assless chaps. Oh yeah, that was from last night.
That was good stuff.
Who's the new victim? I mean, player. Um, there's a couple of people who told me that their schedule may be freeing up soon here to do that. So we'll see.
Very cool.
But I won't. But I don't think it's anybody you know. So just a couple of people
that's
that
cool.
have
You
been
said
holding
Dave
spots
plays though,
for.
right? That's pretty cool what Dave plays. Yeah.
Oh, Shadows of Brimstone.
Like, was it you said that Wednesday that Dave plays, or
No,
plays games with you guys, or who was it? Blade
no,
Wolf
Blade
or
Wolf. We have
Blade
Blade
Hangout?
Wolf
Wolf and
plays,
and
yeah.
Josie.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I was gonna say, yeah, that's cool that Dave plays.
God, that game Mansions of Madness game that we played last Wednesday was fucking hilarious.
What happened?
Cause I played the Asian girl, the Minty Fan. Like she was like an Amy type character, and she went crazy during the game. And when you go crazy, uh, you you get the crazy card, right? And you flip over the card, and it tells you what your mental illness is, and it gives you a new win condition. And you can't reveal it to the other players. You just kind of have to operate around that, right? So my character went crazy, and Blade Wolf's character went crazy as well. And like in order to make it fair, what I had to do was take a like flip his card over, take a photo of it, and text it to him so that he could read it. And and I didn't read it. I just took a picture of it without reading it.
That's
And so
pretty
he
cool.
had his motivation, and I had mine. And the game we actually like we beat this. It's the same one that you and I played a long time ago, Lizzie.
Yeah, I
Sorry, Dizzy.
remember.
And it's the same one, right? And we beat the scenario, like we disrupted the ritual and all that.
Cool.
And we were just trying to get out of the house. And it did like the
Okay.
house didn't even catch fire or anything. We were just it was like the easiest scenario. We
Yeah,
were
that's
just
the house
walking
is
out.
burning down around us.
Yeah. So we're trying to leave, but my insanity says that I don't win unless there are no explore tokens left in the house. And I have all the ritual
Um,
components. So I'm like trying to walk around the house to uncover the thing. And the other two players are like, what the hell are you doing? We just need to walk out of the door. And I'm like, no, we're not finished. And she's like walking around the house. And they they had to mug her.
oh shit.
Like there's a mechanic for stealing from other players, like trying to pick their pockets or whatever, or
Okay.
trying to basically wrestle the components away. And that's what they ended up having to do. They had to beat her up
Dang.
and take the components to leave. So that's what Josie's character did. She was the only sane one. She beat up my little Asian girl, took the ritual components, and then walked out of there. So me and Blade Wolf lost because his motivation was he had to have at least 6 items on him to leave the house. So he
Okay.
was also trying to like kill stuff and pick up equipment. Like he was gonna pick up an axe that I needed in order to beat the monsters, but he was gonna pick it up anyway just because he needed the item.
Gotcha. That sounded like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that game is freaking hysterical. Like once you start going crazy. And I was gonna
Yeah.
buy the I was thinking of buying the expansion the other day because I'm like, oh, I need that. It'd be good to have all the other
You're
scenarios.
like, I need that.
I know. I was standing there going, I need this. Oh man, that's so it's a little that line's not that the top of her like panty line isn't clean because of that gap that I had to fill. It's kind of a bummer. You know, usually that's a nice sharp line up there, but not today.
You
That's a
fake it
bummer.
with the paint?
I'm trying to,
It's not
but it's
cooperating.
almost more like a no, it's just too much texture. Like even I ended up going back
Okay.
and putting the plastic putty in and it's still
Yeah.
not 100% smooth. It's just
Mm.
too hard to get. Too hard to get, you know, a file or a bit of sandpaper down there to smooth it out.
The plastic stuff that I use, I never even, rarely will bother even sanding it. If you apply it fast enough, it just smooths right out.
Yeah, I guess thinking back to it, what I should have done is I should have put it in there and then just taken like a tiny little flathead screwdriver and just kind of zipped it across the top real quick and let it level on its own.
Yeah, because it does do that
But
self-leveling stuff, which is genius.
mm-hmm.
Takes a little getting used to it.
Oh, good night, Albert. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Not
Jesse's like,
Albert.
and that was a victory. It was.
Victory.
Well, only one of us won. Only Josie won. Me and Blade Wolf lost because we needed to have our stuff done.
Sorry, just talking to
But
myself.
yeah.
Forgot a bunch of their hair.
God. And I'm also waiting for the minis for Wave the Fighter because that game is
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
You said you weren't sure if they were going to make the minis?
Oh no, they're totally making minis.
Okay.
You can go to the if you go to the Kickstarter page,
Yeah.
like you can see the renders for the minis and they look great.
Okay.
But who knows when they're gonna be done with those.
Mm. Yeah, I
I was
have a
talking to
Kickstarter that I'm still, it's like over 3 years I'm waiting for that. It's brutal.
which one is that one?
Madara or something it's called. Pretty cool
Oh,
anime
that sounds
game.
familiar.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
showed it to you before. Yeah. It's got some really cool minis in it, but I don't know if they'll ever get that done. I hope so.
Jeebus. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, shit, I'm going to be moved from here by the time they get that stuff done. Should be able to update my address, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of which, what was that? We were talking about Arena Rex too. That you could also stream a game of Arena Rex. So I might do that at some point. That's that Gladiator game.
Yeah.
With the Resident,
It's really
really
cool.
nice minis for that game.
Yeah, they are. Very nice. I agree.
But we'll see. And that's gonna bug the crap out of me. That little, it's just like a little bit of texture on there that's already kind of bothering me. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yep.
You have to get the rest of the mini looking spot on so that people don't notice that.
But the thing, yeah, but like it's such a, oh, okay. It's such a
It's not
line
the
there.
cleavage, so it's okay.
It's not the cleavage, but I mean, you are looking, when you look at Zatanna, you are looking at that panty line. Like you do
Yeah.
need that panty line to be nice and
She
clean.
doesn't have the cleavage. She's covered up.
Yeah.
They just
So you
cover
got to
her
make
up.
up for it.
They could have got one
My
of the
wife,
versions that's got cleavage.
true.
My
My wife saw a
opinion.
picture of this at CQ. She saw a picture of Zatanna up on the wall. And she's like, "What's that? How come more girls don't cosplay that?" I'm like,
They
"Right?
do.
Yeah,
They do. There's some really
they
nice Zatanna
should."
cosplays.
Yeah. She's like, "Who's that girl?" I'm like, "Yeah, they make a mini for her in Batman." And then my wife like tuned out. She's like, "Whatever. Mini, who cares?" She's funny. She does like looking at this stuff. Like she'll come down here and look and she's like, "Oh, it's so cool, all this stuff you're working on." I'm like, "Hey, you want to play?" No. Like, don't push it. I'm like, oh, okay, fine.
She's just trying to support what you do.
She
She doesn't want
is
to be a part
actually.
of it. She's
She
just trying to
is
support.
right. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like she knows she doesn't want to be part of the world, but she still wants to support it, which I totally respect.
It's because she loves you.
It's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I worry about if she had to meet certain people that go to the hobby store. Not the people I game with, because everyone I game with is super cool, but Nelson knows what I'm talking about. If my wife had to hang out with some of the people at the hobby store, it would not be pretty. Because she says what's on her mind. If someone doesn't like her, she will, or she doesn't like someone, she will let them know.
People should be like that.
What is your problem? Let's see.
Like slowly back away, everyone.
Oh, hey, what's up, Hexus fan? Oh, my wife treats my hobby like I'm cheating on her.
Oh,
Well, yeah, I get that too. To a much, well, I did back in the day. It's way different now. Like we've come to an understanding. We know where everything is now. But yeah, and that's not the first time I've heard that too. Like a lot of spouses and stuff treat that, because it's a very time consuming hobby, and we tend to be passionate about it, and so sometimes your significant other does not quite understand.
Or sometimes she's into it more than you are.
Sometimes, yeah. Or you could have the other problem.
He also was talking about that. He's like,
Can
I
we
think you
go
have more
home
minis
now?
than I do.
No.
I was like, no,
gonna
you
be
don't.
like
You have way more games than I do. I was like, no, man, you got way more minis. And then we were talking. I was like, well, maybe if you're counting minis, but games, probably not.
I think you may have more minis than I do.
Really?
Actually, no. I wouldn't be surprised if you did. I wouldn't be surprised if you did.
I do have a lot. Like you can open pretty much any drawer in my room and find minis.
The only reason why I'm saying that though is because I sell off a bunch of mine. I tend to sell off like large swathes of my collection, but still. Who knows? With all that Wrath of King shit that I just got, maybe I have more now.
That is true. You do get a lot. Although I do have a room that has like boxes wider than my arm span and taller than I am type of thing. Not taller than I am, not as tall as I am. And it's boxes of
You have a
games
pallet.
You
have a pallet of minis here.
Yeah, it's a lot of minis.
Just like a giant shipping container.
It's crazy. So I'm trying to declutter or whatever, like downsize. Yeah, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get rid of the minis, so the anime figures are going. They're not so
You got
friendly to move
priorities.
with either.
Yeah, I hear that. Let's see. My ex hated everything to do with the hobby and my friends that played.
Wow.
Yeah.
Insecure women often hate your friends because they're afraid that your friends will, or crazy insecure women because they're afraid that your friends will talk like sense into you and make you realize that they are crazy
You gotta
insecure
leave that.
women.
Yeah. Just leave that bitch. Come on.
Yeah, so they don't like friends for that reason. So be wary of a girlfriend that doesn't like your friends. She's hiding a lot.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I actually had, well, I did have one girlfriend that did not like my friends, and that did not last very long
Usually wouldn't, I would imagine,
because of
unless the
that.
guy like just
She did not. No, she did not.
unless the guy's like totally into her and willing to give up his friendships for her.
Which I've seen also. Yeah.
Yeah, that's their tactic. Then they have
That's a
to.
mistake, because
Yeah, it
there's
is.
there's a reason why there's that quote. Sometimes bros before hoes. Sometimes you give up on your friends just to go to that, and then
I love when you chime in and just like say these things.
oh, trust
Quiet
me,
for the longest time, then this is what he says.
I
But it
just
is
like
true though.
I like to lurk in the background
I
sometimes.
know, you creepy bastard.
It's funny.
I don't remember what I said earlier, but I shocked him and he was just like, yeah. What did I say? Is it even like maybe we shouldn't say it on here. I don't even know what I said, but I said something that shocked him. He's just like
You said something lewd. We know you. You don't have to pretend on this. We know.
I don't even know if it was lewd. It was just shocking. It was just like, my limiter
Oh
was
yeah.
off and I was just like I just told him like imagine I'm drunk and like I'm out with a bunch of friends and we're just what I warned him about before. I was like, yeah, I would probably be the one in the group that says the most obscene stuff.
That's
Usually
the
am.
best part.
The guys think they got it, but no, they don't.
No. Yeah. No, I know that.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
attest to this.
Yeah. Well, no, my wife is very similar too. Like she says some. The funny thing is, I had a friend of mine the other day. She said she was like collecting research for about couples or whatever and
Okay.
intimacy, and she asked me like, name like when do you feel most like you're uh the closest to your wife, right? Well, like what are the moments that you feel closest to her? And one of the
Hmm.
things I said is when my wife says something that's so deeply offensive and absolutely awful, but it was something we were both thinking and we just, you know what I mean? You make eye
Yeah.
contact, you're thinking the worst thing possible and you look at your partner, like that's when I feel the closest to her. Like we're both going to go to hell together for just for thinking what we just thought. You know what I mean? Like it's
Good
so
stuff.
bad when you think
Good
about,
stuff.
oh
Good
my
stuff.
god.
It's good that you have that connection. Like your mind is on the same thing, and then
Yeah,
she has the gonads to say it. Like just like oh.
but it's like yeah, it's like deeply disturbing. Like if she were to say that in any other social setting, like she would be outcast, right? Or she would be, or we would get kicked out of wherever the hell we were, right? But when you say something like that and the other partner just like, oh my god, I'm fucking there. Like that's like it's like our Gomez and Morticia moment. You know what I mean? Like you just said something so awful and the other person is on the same page and that was my answer. It's like that's when you're going to hell together just because of what you
Nice.
said or thought. That's that's when I feel closest. Pretty hilarious. And then we say like, oh, we're bad people, aren't we? Like, yes, bad. We are definitely bad people.
Sometimes it's just the rest of the world is too prudish.
But that's what you need. You need somebody that you can be that brutally, absolutely honest and awful with, right?
Yeah. If you can't be honest with your partner, then why be with them?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh, look, Dave gave you guys a little compliment there. You're just lucky, Nelson, that you have someone cool like Dizzy. Check it out.
True that. No,
Keeping-
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I 100% concur.
Thank you, hon. You guys are sweet. Aw.
You guys just wait until I get myself licensed and successful, open up my shop, and you two will be chained to the desk and sweatshop away.
What?
Just watch.
Like sweatshop.
I'll even have Dave.
That was your
come in,
plan.
like, you see what I'm talking about, Dave? That's what I mean. These two people just, they pay much
how I
better
roll,
than
Dave.
me. Yeah.
That was my plan all along.
Damn. I think I
We're
should
just
be
like
afraid
trapped
here.
in the back. He has a net installed on the ceiling, so on the roof, so we can't jump off and commit suicide.
Yeah. Did you hear about that? Did I tell you that about the Apple story in China?
I was gonna say, isn't
Yeah.
there somewhere in China that has that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a place that they made Apple iPhones. So yeah. A lot of you think that, being a patriot supporting iPhones. Well, yeah, look at what's happening all over the world. Those poor Chinese people working 14-hour shifts without overtime pay, they got sick and tired of it. They brought it up to Apple. Like, Apple wouldn't listen, so they commit suicide.
I think they're also being exposed to like dangerous chemicals and stuff too, aren't they?
Possibly. But the point is that the fact that Apple didn't give a shit about them, they just put a net on top of the building, pretty much saying that, fuck you guys. If you guys want to commit suicide, don't do it on our property, right? Go home, commit suicide
The
yourself.
accountant did some quick math and said,
yeah,
well,
I'm sure they did. To be honest,
we can either take a loss for giving them workable hours, or we could just put that net up there.
Yep.
For a fraction of the cost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, net.
Exactly.
They probably also factored in the cost of cleaning up the mess versus the cost of the net in the long run.
Yep.
And they're like, the net is definitely cheaper.
Good point. Yeah, that just shows you, that's how much Apple cared, guys.
And they paid the consultant what they would have paid the workers to come up with that answer. Well, we could just give them that money. Like, no, let's hire a consultant to tell us to put a net up.
Yeah, but the consultant's a one-time fee. The employees is like,
see,
that's long term. That's losses.
You're right. That's head count. You don't want to add permanent head count. That just that comes out of your expenditures.
And it opens up a whole nasty cycle too. Like, they're gonna want more and more. Give them a little.
Your shareholders will see that. Yeah.
Apple
if you have to report a headcount increase to shareholders, they won't be happy. But if you instead told them, "Hey, we took out expenses and we installed a net so people couldn't kill themselves," and the shareholders are like, "Well, whatever, my stock went up."
Because Apple doesn't charge that much for their phones, right? They can't afford to pay proper wages.
Yeah, the iPhone 9 or iPhone X or whatever costs $1,000 starting. It's dumb.
It's like $1,400 in Canada.
Whoa.
Or $1,200 or something ridiculous.
Yeah. I can't believe I missed that Samsung 8 deal, the Note 8 deal that they had at Costco. Did you hear about that, Nelson?
Oh no. Really?
Like before Christmas time,
what was
they
that?
Costco had a buy one get one on the Note 8, but it wasn't. But so did Verizon, so did and T-Mobile, right? But the Costco one was buy one get one, and you would get a $500 gift certificate
What?
on top of that. Yeah.
That's a sweet deal.
Great. Yeah.
Dude,
And like I missed it by like a couple of days.
how did that?
Advertise that shit better.
Yeah, I'm not upgrading my phone until maybe like another year or until it breaks, because that whole cycle of just putting on a payment plan or all that, just such a waste of money.
Last time I bought
is.
my phone outright. Last time I got a phone. So
Well, the decent phones that I want usually cost about $800, you know. So,
I
like,
think mine
True.
was like 600 plus taxes and shipping.
yeah,
Well, that's not bad at all.
it's not bad.
Affordable. Right? It's affordable for a phone, for a fucking phone. To have people bother you and try to sell you shit you don't want.
Whoa! Calm down. Hey, don't forget what you and I were doing right now.
I'm kidding, babe. I'm kidding. He's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, the reason why I told the child, because actually, like, part of my training as well, for a company, we don't have an actual brick and mortar office where you can walk in and sign up to refinance your mortgage or purchase. You know? So everything is pretty much done by phone. So a lot of times, we do need a cold call. So that's why I was like, hey, yeah.
Cold calling is tough, man.
It's very tough. I had
That's
people,
tough.
like the first day when we were training the cold call people to potentially really saving money on their mortgage, I get people like, oh, go fuck yourself. Why don't you just go kill yourself and die? And then like people are like, do you even know what the hell you're doing with your life? I would get all these crazy people like talking to me like that. It's pretty funny at the same time.
They're probably doing a hell of a lot more than they are with their life.
Yeah. And the funny part is that it just those people eventually realize the value of refinancing the mortgage into a lower rate, and then we're saving them $600, even just $200 a month, right? That's $2,500 a year, multiplied by the lifespan of your whole mortgage of 30 years conventional. That's $70,000 we're saving you. Once they know that and they're sold, you're like, oh my god, thank you so much. But I'm like, dude, you guys could have listened to us like months and months ago, but you keep on pushing back, telling us to kill ourselves, and looking at you now, all happy, saving $70,000 on your mortgage. You know?
Dude, a year or two from now, when I look at refi, you're gonna be my guy for that, because I'm probably gonna refi this place.
Yeah, let me pass my test. So once I pass my test, I'll be able to calculate, give you a proposal for free. You know. And then
are you gonna be an originator, or are you taking the test to be are you gonna do underwriting? Like what?
Originator. That's where the bonus
originator.
Is. Yep.
Yeah, that's where the money's at, dude.
Yep. So and then this company is desperate in need of more originators right now. So yeah, that's why I'm focusing all my energy right now onto passing this test.
Nice. Yeah. You can do it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I genuinely hope so. That's why you haven't been seeing gaming with you guys at all. So
that's why we can forgive you. Just kidding.
Oh, God.
That's all good.
Understand.
Everybody's busy. Like on Thursdays is usually just like me and Mark or me and Matt. That's usually there's not too many people around on Thursdays anymore. Because you're studying up. Nelson, Andrew's working now on Thursdays, so it's like we're thinking about like maybe we need to move to another night. But I can't. Well, I might be able to go to Tuesdays, but that's usually we try to reserve that for date night. So probably that's going to be tough for me to do Tuesday, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, that line is just not clean enough. It's bothering me. Nelson, I want to refinance your species into an octopus.
Who said that? Of course.
Cameron says, I was watching the wrong stream for a bit. YouTube stopped your stream and loaded yesterday's. What the
Oh,
hell?
wow. That's weird. Way to go,
You were
YouTube.
watching Shadows of Brimstone all of a sudden?
That'd be a trip. Like, wait, what the hell is going on here?
YouTube does do weird shit, though. I noticed, like,
YouTube
that
have
happened to me
eyes.
once. I was watching like a live music stream, and it did that, and it kicked on the previous day's stream.
Yeah,
Like, what
yeah,
the
I
hell?
never had to do that.
You have the
I have
good Canadian
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more polite.
It has my offensive content pre-screened out for you.
Probably.
There's only 3 videos on my channel on Canadian YouTube.
Dang.
That would be funny, actually.
That'd be
They're
terrible.
like, oh yeah. So I run into somebody from Canada, like, dude, I like your channel, but you need to put out more videos. I'm like, what are you talking about? I have like 800 videos. Like, no, you only have 3 videos. Like, what? Damn Canadian YouTube. But YouTube does do like they do filter out like videos off of your feed. I didn't know, like I noticed that too. Like some certain people I'm subscribed to, they will filter their videos off of my regular feed, and I have to physically go to their channel to find their newer videos. I don't know if you've had
Yeah,
that experience.
they're doing that sort of shit now, especially with people that speak freely about things
Hmm.
that YouTube does not condone.
You only have 3 videos, eh? Oh, sometimes you get notifications a day after the stream. Yeah,
Well,
I haven't had that happen, but I've had people tell me that it'll say my stream is on the following day when it was today or whatever.
Yeah, on the desktop, I noticed that too. When I log onto my desktop the next day or the 2 days after, it'll pop up an icon on Windows 10 update, and it will tell me, "Oh, Octave's on." But when I click on it, it's like, "Well, this is not the right time." It's already
Stream
over.
is over.
Stream was like for
Yeah.
yesterday's day, for example. Yeah, so I think that's what it is now.
I was just sitting here thinking,
Hmm.
and I think I have like 40 some orcs, and I don't have that many here right now. So I think I actually have another giant box of orcs out there. And I just felt like tying a noose around my neck. I think I will go back to forgetting that box is there for now.
There you go.
Yeah.
It'll be a happy surprise later. One day.
Yeah. I'll open the box and be like, oh, fuck, there's more of these? No, I do like them. And I do want to have like a big ass army, but I'm starting to burn out from the high of painting orcs.
Yeah, I had the batch painting. I had to stop after I did that Technus army, that Wrath of Kings army. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop batch painting for a bit. I'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
That will like drain your soul if you do too much of that.
Yeah. I haven't even been doing it that long, and I haven't done that much. There's a lot of details. It's
Right, but
kilts.
yeah, you do a lot more detail on all the pieces, and so that's tough.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I've got this guy done except for his kilt.
Mm-hmm.
So just gotta get that done, and then he's good to go. And then I just have my standard bearer left to do.
Nice.
And he's got a lot done. I just gotta the metal. I've been doing it a lot faster. I've been doing mostly dry brushing with it and getting it done much faster that way. I'll show you the big guys.
Sure.
Showed you some of them, but I've got like assembled new ones. So there's like these ones that I had that were like these guys. This one.
It's like I just have a rock in his hand.
Yeah, they got like maces or whatever you call those things.
That's cool.
Spike iron bowling ball type thing. And then this guy as well. But then there's another variation of these guys. It was like a little booster pack. And it came with actual weapons. So he's got a sword. And then I gave him like this weapons on the side. And then this one's got a giant hammer. I also tried to mix up the heads and bodies to make them look a little different. And then this guy's got this giant axe. And he's got like an anvil or some crap in one hand. And then there's an elite guy here that he's a dragon slayer. He's got a crossbow. He looks really different too in the face.
Oh, that guy is freaking awesome looking.
Yeah, I like him.
Does he just have like what's in his mouth?
Teeth.
Yeah.
Giant fangs.
Oh, that's just like his giant underbite.
Yeah. His mouth is a little
awesome.
open and he's got a giant underbite. Yeah, so these guys are going to take me a while since they're so much bigger. I do want to make sure the detail is nice on them. And they probably will have kilts as well. I don't know yet. I'm dreading the kilts. What was I thinking?
Yeah, that's a lot of kilts, man.
Yeah. There's a few that have these like this guy has the straw skirt thing.
I remember you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do tartan on all of these, and I was like, we'll see those in a while. And you had 2 done. I'm like, damn, those look awesome.
They do though. Like, look at that shit.
A while.
That's so cool.
They do look great.
Thank you. They look awesome on the table. Like, I can't wait to have them in game play.
So, are you gonna when you're done with those, are you gonna paint your humans, or are you gonna go do another project? Do you think? Probably take a break from it.
I probably won't be painting for a while because I'll be working. So
that's true.
Yeah, I start work soon. So once I start work, it's like everything else is kind of put on hold as well till I get through training, and then I might try to paint a little in my downtime. It just depends how drained I am, right?
Right. Sometimes it might, maybe not batch painting, but like you paint something that's fun, just to kind of blow off some steam.
Yeah,
like I
want to get the elementals painted. These guys are gonna be cool.
Those probably do look really cool.
Yeah, probably just like, I don't know, block off some areas, do some dry brushing, and then like intensify some highlights to them, and kind of just keep it simple like that, right? I don't think I have to go really detailed with them. They're probably going to be mostly like, the fire one's going to be like, reds and yellows and oranges and stuff. So it's going to be fairly simple to paint.
That's cool.
I have a bunch of these guys with the humans.
The Minotaurs?
Yeah.
Minotaurs?
Yeah, and then a bunch of humans. I have another extra packs of humans and Minotaurs and all that stuff, but I don't think I'm getting done anytime soon.
Now, have you ever seen gameplay or anything on that game? Like, have you seen...
Yeah, there's gameplays out there. I think they had one up for the Kickstarter, if I remember correctly.
Do you know if... like anyone, if there are any like communities popping up around the game or anything like that?
No idea. I do not live anywhere near where there are communities for anything, so I would not be able to tell you. Yeah. I live in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to say. I imagine there are, though. I know that they do, I think they have like conventions, and they have like, I thought I heard they had like a little tournament or something at a convention, but I don't know if that was a tournament or just like a table set up for people to play and stuff. But
yeah, I can't say I know of anybody local here that backed or plays that game, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure somebody backed it locally, but
European country, they're from France, so it could be bigger over there too.
That's true. From France. Every time I think about French miniature games, I think of Eldorado, and it makes me sad.
Yeah,
that was a good game.
Too.
Damn it.
I wanted to get into that.
Yeah.
I think it died right around the time that I was like thinking of getting into it too.
Yeah, it officially died in 2016, but it had been going downhill for a while, and we were trying to keep it going. Like I still did events and stuff for Eldorado for a
Sounds
while
like the
there.
creators didn't want to keep it going though.
They got into, there's a couple things that happened. They got into some licensing kerfuffles with the original company that made it, and then in all honesty, Ninja Division they dropped the ball on that one. It just didn't fit the rest of their business model. You know what I mean? They do all this anime stuff, and Eldorado was just kind of this weird property that they picked up, and they never really supported it. So a lot of people are angry at Ninja Division for letting the game die, and I can totally understand why. I was actually trying to get Viv to buy the license for that, because he was looking to buy, like he wanted to produce a minis game, and I was like, well, I know the guy who owns the U.S. license for Eldorado, and I put him in touch with Kai, and apparently they weren't able to sell their rights to it, but whatever.
Yeah. Mythic, the people of Mythic Games. Is it Mythic? People made the people made Joan of Arc. It's Mythic Games, right?
Is it? I thought that was a different company. I don't know.
I thought they made Mythic Battles before that, and the people they co-created it with didn't want to go to retail with it, so it's never going to go to retail. And they actually have been trying to like just get the rights to put it to retail because they know there's a market for it, and people are asking them about it. But the company is like, no, we don't want to. We just wanted to do the Kickstarter, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad to see.
That's what happened. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
That's what happened with Anima Tactics. Is Anima Studio didn't want them to continue to make the game, and they held the license, and like, no, we don't want you to make the game anymore. So they pulled the license. So that one wasn't Ninja Division's fault, but Eldorado, you could make the argument that sort of was Ninja Division's fault.
Are people still pissed off at Ninja and Soda Pop for the, I don't know what to call it, Super Dungeon Explorer or Dungeon Explorer now, because they changed that shit? But...
Yeah. No, they're still waiting on it. That's why they're mad.
So they're probably still
like
pissed
it's over a year behind. Yeah.
Why is that's why they're mad. Behind? What the hell's going on with that? Do you know anything about that?
I don't know the what the actual answer is, but according to them, it had to do with the main developer, Deke, having a heart attack the year before and being out of it, and then they brought that Justin guy in to work on it, and but that sounds like I mean they didn't. Of course, he did have a heart attack, but that's what they're citing as the reason why.
It could be. That seems legit.
Yeah, I'm sure it's part of the reason why, but I don't know if I don't think that had anything to do with any delays in making the product, like the pieces.
Yeah.
And based on Way of the Fighter,
they could have made the pieces, and then the game components came later, right? At least
Right.
appease people with that. Were they
Yeah.
revamping the game entirely? Like that they needed?
Yeah.
Um,
That's what we were told, is that they were revamping the game entirely, which kind of scared me. I think I told you about that. I'm like,
yeah,
I
it
don't
seems
think they
weird.
should. Like, the game is in pretty good shape already. Like, they
Yeah, I
shouldn't.
thought it had a strong following. I
Yeah,
don't see why,
I
why there's a
think
need to.
finally with arcade mode, they finally had it in a spot where I felt like it was pretty good.
Yeah.
They just needed to pare down some of the rules. But then they brought that Justin guy on, and he was like, "Oh no, we're gonna redo the whole thing," and I was like, "Oh shit, that's bad."
Yeah.
Uh, but who knows where they
Yeah.
are at now? What?
Why'd they rename it?
Oh, to Legends?
Whatever the hell they renamed it to. No,
They
it's
just
if you look at their packaging, it doesn't say Super Dungeon Explorer now. It says just Dungeon Explorer, I think.
does it really?
Yeah.
That's weird. I did not notice that.
I think even where
I
it's like the name on their site, I think is different too.
hmm, that's weird. Huh?
They get sued for the name. Was it like a Super Nintendo game or something back in the day? Finally caught up with
Mm,
them.
probably not. But I like that it's kind of English because it's Super Dungeon Explorer, but everyone
Yeah.
calls it Super Dungeon Explorer. But it's
Really?
actually
I've never called
yeah,
it
it's
that.
actually Super Dungeon Explorer. Like
Yeah, that's what I always call it.
it's kind of Englishy
I don't know. I like it.
because like most people call it Super Dungeon Explorer, and you have to like no, that's not actually the name. Take the other R off of it.
Yeah, most people don't read nowadays.
Let's see. I had to go to a company in Australia to get some of the minis for Norse Guard. I remember Norse Guard, but I didn't know that anybody played that game.
Damn, brutal.
No, I mean, no, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, it's just I knew of the game, but did not know anybody that actually played it.
Just trying to
That wasn't
backtrack
like,
now.
no, I wasn't trying to be
I'm
mean.
kidding. I'm kidding.
That's usually what draws me to a game. I'm like, oh, nobody's playing this. High
Let's check
threat
it
of them
out.
canceling it. I'm in. Count me
I'm
in.
gonna
I will
cancel it.
totally
You have
buy
to
that
make a
game.
discount.
Yeah, we'll get them on sale for eBay now. We'll just we'll play this dead game.
Yeah. Well, if you're not into tournaments, it doesn't matter if the game's dead.
That's true. That's why we still have like a couple of local guys still play the shit out of Eldorado.
Cool.
And they're like, hey, Octave, when are
He's
we going to play more
alive.
Eldorado? And I'm like, can we play Guild Ball? Can we play something where I can at least hope for new miniatures? Like I can get excited about something.
I suppose, yeah, there's that aspect of it. But if you have a good collection of minis,
I
give
do
them
have
time.
a really good collection of Eldorado.
You were saying,
Like
yeah.
I have enough where I could well no, I have 4 factions, so we could at least get 4 people playing if we wanted to.
Mhm. In time.
I have the damn Monkey King for that game.
Ooh,
Like,
nice.
how does that not? Why isn't there more Monkey King in these games?
Yeah, no, there's not enough Monkey King.
They always have these Asian factions and stuff, but they need more Monkey King to go with your Asian faction. Yep. And
I'm
yeah,
just dry
what
brushing.
was that other one? I wanted the barbarian minis. Congo. I triggered Congo. Nobody
Oh.
plays that game. I fight you. Super Dungeon. Yeah. I do want to play a game of Super Dungeon Explorer again.
You haven't played
That's
it in a
always fun to do.
while.
Yeah. it's just so like once you know how to play it, it's so quick to set up, and I don't know, you know how to do the AI,
Yeah.
and it's a very super fun game.
Nelson is not interested in playing it with me.
That's okay. It's
But
fun, Nelson.
He's like, I don't like playing with cute minis.
There's like 50 characters you can play though.
But they are all cute. I do understand.
They are really cute.
Yeah. They're not manly enough for it.
I don't like that cutesy mini stuff.
I don't blame you. It's okay. I'll
He's
go
gonna take
play with
his
Aki.
claw and go home. Taking my
Yeah.
claw and going home.
I'm keeping my raptor claw next to my shit dying bed. No one ever gonna lay their hands on.
Oh, damn. Tell you, I'm going to find you a raptor claw. Actually, I'm going to find a raptor claw and wear it around my neck just to be like, ha, who's got the raptor claw now? Maybe I'll give it to you if you're good.
Do you guys have big plans for New Year's Eve?
Nope.
I have no plans
No,
whatsoever
man.
for New Year's Eve.
Absolutely nothing.
The last couple of years, I saw so many deaths around California. How many people get ran over by car or drunk driving. I'm staying home for Christmas and New Year's Eve.
We can hang out together,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah,
Well,
I don't even.
yeah.
I'll be up painting. That's what I'll be doing.
Hey, we can
painting
do
this
this
shit.
again tomorrow night if you guys want. That's how boring.
Yeah.
We can. Yeah.
You're not going out
I
with
may
the
have a. No, we got two little guys. Like back in the day, we used to do stuff like
reason
that.
not to go out. They're old enough they can be babysat. I get it though.
Well, she doesn't like to leave them.
Yeah, I get it.
She's like more babies. She doesn't want to leave the babies. And I'm not exciting enough, I guess, to come hang out on New Year's Eve. We used to do stuff for New Year's Eve, but even then, like before kids, we kind of were over it after a while. We're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's live.
Yeah.
Let's not die. Some of the stuff we did for New Year's Eve. One time we went to a concert by USC for New Year's Eve. I forget what concert we went to. And we had a hotel booked nearby. This is obviously before we were married or had kids and that kind of stuff. And it was like 3 a.m. or whatever. Concert's over, and we're walking that neighborhood by USC, which is not a nice neighborhood. Like it's fucking terrifying. And there was nobody on the streets. It was so late at night. Finally, a cab comes by, and I've never heard my wife scream that loud in her life.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. Yeah.
And the cab pulled over, and he was like, "I have never heard anybody that could scream that loud to get my attention while he was driving." Yeah, he was kind of driving the other way, and she got his attention from like a good, almost like a block away.
Cab
It was
driver
crazy.
was probably like, "I'm getting the fuck out of here too."
Yeah, probably.
Probably, yeah.
It's like, how the fuck did I end up here?
Congo had Octave, you want a list of games you can play? You'll be guaranteed to have releases. You won't like at least half, but you'll have the game forever until the hobby dies to technology.
Wow.
True. My plan for New Year's is to drink at home, be miserable, and maybe hobby, and possibly drink paint water. You don't have to be miserable.
Come hang
It's
out
all
with us
good.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
I'll pay more to this shit. Yeah.
Who said they were going to be miserable?
What was it?
That was Congo.
Oh.
I mean,
Don't worry. You can come hang out tomorrow and pick on me some more.
I don't think it's as fun when you give him permission, Nelson.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to make it worth his while.
Nelson's just sadistic like that.
Yeah, I may have like one little toast with my wife come midnight, but that's about as far as we'll go. Like that's our extent of New Year's. Like, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Got to go to work tomorrow. Actually, no, we don't. But she got 2 weeks off. I'm kind of jelly over that.
Nice. She saved up all her
But she
vacation
finds it.
time. Oh no,
Yeah.
she's a teacher, so yeah, she'd have that
Mhm.
time.
Yeah, she just gets
Now,
it.
does she actually get to take it off at this time of year? She's got like, school stuff to take care of and meetings and all that.
Oh
So
no. Yeah, they get it off. She's
okay.
super happy.
Nice.
Little babies are happy.
Yeah.
The only thing that sucks is right the week she goes back to school is the week I fly to the Philippines.
Oh.
So that first week back for her is going to be rough because, she has to go back to work and then she comes home and then she's the only one here watching the little guys. That's gonna suck.
Mom-in-law's probably gonna be there a lot, helping
Yeah,
out.
she probably will. I think so.
She'll just sleep over the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see until my wife gets sick of her and kicks her out,
Yeah, you gotta go home.
which is that is a distinct possibility. Why are sports arenas in colleges built in areas where I feel like I'll get stabbed? Because it's cheaper to build in those areas. That's why. Can you do that combined paint stream from the figure most of you got around Black Friday? Oh, tomorrow night. I don't know. Did Cameron went to sleep already, right? That's not a bad thought. I could put together the sci-fi detective Twilight Night. Are these pantyhose need to be darker? Or are they okay? Or lighter?
They look fine.
They look okay?
They
They
look
look a
okay to
little
me.
runny right now.
They'll probably dry down a little darker if they're still wet.
Yeah. Let's let them dry down and see if I need to continue to highlight them or not. That's not a bad thought, Lucchesi. Maybe I'll put that mini together tomorrow at some point and prime it, and we can paint. We can try to do what the who. Yeah. Did you work on your Did you do your detective yet, Cameron? That's a pretty good thought. Maybe we can be painting the detective stuff, and does he can continue Dracaris or whatever she wants to paint. Let me know. Did anyone get the Christmas 54mm Twilight Night? I did not, sir.
Nope. I am down to like $10 to my name for the next few weeks.
Wow.
Actually, longer than that.
Wow.
Yeah, times have been tough for me.
Times are tough, man. Yeah. Jeebus.
It's been a tough while, tough stretch. I've been counting my pennies for a while.
It's amazing that you can like make it that long, man.
Yeah.
Like sneezing cost me $10 in
I
California.
haven't spent money in a long while. I've been just buying the necessities to get by with life, and yeah.
I hear that. Yeah. That's good though that you can just make it. Like, damn,
Yeah.
that's crazy good. I mean, not good that you have to, but good that you can.
Thankfully, I'm still surviving. But yeah.
So yeah. So who has that mini? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No.
Yeah, Cameron, that's one thought. We can all do that tomorrow if you want. I'll put mine together. And yeah, we can just set up and hang out and paint the. She's a cool model. I saw Shoshi did one.
Yeah. She does good
I saw
work.
that on the feed today. I was like, oh, and then that totally came to mind. I'm like, oh shit, I need to put mine together and paint it. The other detective down to clown. Okay, cool. We'll see what's going on. I might have a little refreshment here and there. So maybe it's good that I'm not working on commission work tomorrow. if that's the case.
Probably for
Actually.
the best.
Oh, you have the Black Friday Ninja. Yeah, she's right here. This kit is right here on my desk right now. And I already stamped the base for her.
Ooh.
So she's cool. I don't like that the cap is over her face, though. I want to be able to paint the face and like have it seen.
Oh,
then,
you can't see it? I've never seen
no,
her
it's like
face.
the cap is like pulled over her eye. And I know I have that Kingdom Death base here on my really, really messy desk. Here somewhere. Where? I'll find it. Whatever. But yeah, we could totally do that. I'll do a little work on Enchantress here. It's sassy. Yeah, I get it, but I don't know. I have this weird thing where I need to paint eyes on all my miniatures. Otherwise, I feel like they have no soul. Like I've done something awful to them if I don't paint
They
the
have no
eyeballs in.
soul. They're miniatures.
They do. They're inanimate objects, Octave.
I just burst your bubble and say, like, what the fuck are you
Like,
talking about? They have no soul.
It's
I would be the
make
one to tell you
believe.
Santa's not real if you still believed in Santa.
No. No, my dad shattered that when
Oh, that's
when I was
awful.
like 2 years old. No, it was good actually. It was way better. He's like, look, I'm Santa. I got your shit. You need anything, you ask me.
Don't
And from
approach
then on, we
bearded
got,
man on the street.
yeah. Well, from then on, we got exactly what we wanted for Christmas, as long as it was within reason. Like, oh, I want this for Christmas. Oh, guess what?
Yeah.
You can go to the store and pick it out yourself, and we'll wrap it up, and you get that for Christmas. I'm like, this is a damn good deal. All the other
Fuck
kids are
Santa
like
Claus.
hoping. Yeah. All the other kids are like, oh, I hope Santa heard me. And I'm like, bitch, I know who Santa is. Santa smells like soy sauce, and he sometimes wears black socks with his sandals. It's a little embarrassing in public, but hey, we get what we want. Santa's a good guy. Sarastro did a vid of KDM heroes. Oh. Dang. The socks I bought for myself. This mini should be, this is like an easy or a really difficult mini, depending on your point of view. Oh shit, I just noticed something. Okay. No. Her like pantyhose has a little blue in it, like a reflection off of the black. That's damn cool. I don't know if I can do that without screwing up the mini though. To get that effect on. That would look really cool. Actually, I probably could. Well, hold on. I don't want to stop doing what I'm doing right now. Let that glaze dry and I can do like a blue glaze in there. What do you think?
Could work.
I mean, the worst that can happen, I just paint over it. It didn't work.
Exactly.
I do like that idea. Just get a little, it's almost like an iridescent look to it. It's kind of cool. On a pantyhose. Ugh. Okay, sometimes painting eyes sucks.
These orcs are great. It's just red blobs and their eye sockets.
Yeah, it's just red dots. Do you do the tiny little bit of orange in there?
No,
Or
their
it's
eyes are
just red
really,
dot?
really small. They're
Oh,
like,
okay.
you're lucky to fit a brush in there type of thing. They're
Okay,
that tiny.
that's cool.
Yeah, they're not getting anything other than the red. I initially wasn't going to go with a red eye, but then I decided to do it.
Do you block the green skin out with the airbrush?
Yeah,
Cool.
that's what I do with the airbrush.
Yes.
And then I apply different washes over it afterwards to get the right color.
That is cool.
I feel like the airbrush used up a lot of my green, though. I feel like if I would have painted it, I would have used less product or paint or whatever.
Probably, yeah.
Just lose a lot in the air. And there's so many like little angles and areas to try and get that I end up losing. I find I lose a lot of paint. Just trying to reach in everywhere. Could be my lack of airbrush skill.
No, if you do a lot of like base coating with the same color,
Mhm.
it's supposed to save you paint, but it ultimately doesn't, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think you because you end up thinning or mixing more than you're gonna use.
I had to like remix several times. It was very rare that because I usually don't do too much like in my airbrush at the time. So
Oh,
I tend
okay.
to spill it. I'm not the
I
type of
always
person
make
that
more
keeps my
than I'm supposed
airbrush.
to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I tend to like move my airbrush in all different angles and stuff, so it kind of messes me up.
There is way too much fine detail on this mini.
Enchantress? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks
Like
really detailed.
if you look at the arm, there's all this like
Yeah, they were
I don't know
definitely
what to call
sculpted
it.
larger and shrunk down without taking into consideration the scale.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were
Like
saying though?
I'm just saying I don't know if there is even a way I can get all that detail without painting in every individual strand.
Yeah.
That might be the only way if I wanted to keep all of it.
Wow.
There's no easy way to do that. I am liking these resins though.
They're beautiful figures. They're just
They really are.
um yeah, it seems a shame that there's so much beautiful detail on them, but it's very difficult to paint. The detail is so tiny.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool detail on this mini. But even if I did get it all, it it just looks really, really busy at the end of the day. That's just how the character is designed.
Yeah. It's tiny too, so it's gonna look even busier.
Yeah, you're not going to be like, oh wow, he even got that strap. It's just going to kind of from 3 feet out, it's just
Yeah.
going to look like more hazy than anything else.
Yeah. That is true.
You got to paint those individual strands. I am not. I am not. I got my little 4-year-old saying that now. Not.
Make sure you do that. Have him do that in front of Jose.
Oh yeah.
Just have him
Do
go up
that
and
all
say
day.
hi. Hi there, Jose.
Oh hi, Jose.
Yeah, oh, hi, Jose. That's right. I messed it up. Oh no.
He was telling me today. He's like, "Daddy, I want to go play your friends in those games and beat them. And I was like,
So,
that's the spirit, son. But you got to finish potty training first. You know, let's get that done first, and then you
Then
can,
you can conquer the world.
yeah, then you can go downstairs and see if you can beat any of us in our game. I'm looking forward to the video game years, where it's like, well, if you want to play your game, you have to beat Dad first. Got to beat Dad for control of the Xbox or whatever.
You actually game quite a bit?
No, I don't, but
Oh,
I used to. So
okay.
I don't know. I probably suck now, but
That
when they
usually
start playing,
happens.
I'll be a little bit better than they are, at least at first. So they got to earn it somehow. Yeah. I thought I would be playing a lot more video games than I do. I just don't really have time for it anymore.
Yeah. It's a thing called adulthood.
Yeah.
It's another,
Well, it's either video games or this.
yeah.
And it's just right now it's easier to just continue to do this. Especially like if I were to get into an MMO or something like that, that would be awful.
Those are life consuming.
Yeah, then your life is over.
I don't ever get into this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got the monthly fees and all that stuff.
But I used to play some of those back in the day.
But Final Fantasy 11, that's really the only one.
Yeah.
And I hated playing with people in it, so I soloed as much as I could.
Congo is saying, I'm afraid of the whittle strands. He's trying to goad me into it. Bark, bark, bark. Pretty good Wiseau impression there, sir. Huh. What a story, Mark. I'm surprised Jose hasn't tuned in yet. Where is that dude? Because it's morning time over in the PI right now. He should be up and headed over there.
You're like insulted, like, how dare he have a life away?
How dare he? I was asking him how I can exploit the carry-on allowances
Oh,
to go over there, because I do not want to check a bag. I do
yeah.
not. When I go over there. That is a weird ass blue. How do you do that? I think I could do that. I don't think it's an ink though. I think an ink is too strong to do that.
Water it down.
Yeah,
I always water down my inks quite a bit.
I'm gonna try. Yeah, I just want it to be just like a really subtle tint that you don't even notice until you're staring at it.
I would really water down your ink and you can gradually build it up. So I try to do and take a little bit more control. Because I always found that the Iron Painter inks were too pigmented. And then I tried scale color ink tints and was like, holy shit. Okay, I did not know pigmented.
Oh, those are worse?
They're like translucent paint that's like really opaque at the same time.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
kind of cool though. I'm sure
it
that's
is.
useful for
Yeah, they do
other
some really neat
stuff.
effects. I'm still getting used to them, but I like them. Highly recommend.
Oh, wow. I might have put a little too much flow improver on that. The ink, that was weird. Like the ink beat it up and slid off. That's wild.
Wow.
Okay, let's try. What's the worst that can happen, right? It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Sure.
You shouldn't be able to see any of this by the time I'm done with it. There, it looks like I did no things. That's correct, right?
But it'll dry down a little and it'll show up, and then you
Can I
can
do another one?
more if you need a little more. It's got a little blue tint to it.
Yeah.
You can tell when you look at one leg to the other.
We shall see. It's almost kind of making it look like gray.
Mm. That looks good though. Looks different.
It does look different. That was a polite way of saying it. It looks different.
Well, it's getting that blue tinge to it.
Yeah. See, that problem is right there. This line is all jacked up, all up in here, because that's where that giant gap was.
Yeah.
It's like
There's
when
a massive gap on the guy with the crossbow.org. And I had to actually I heated him up with a hairdryer, and then like I bent his cost like from the ankle. I just like bent him back to make him stand up right. He was almost like hunched over, like he was like this hunchback. I mean, he is hunched over a lot, but you couldn't even see his face. He was that hunched over. So I had to like bend him back a lot. I don't know what happened. I barely cleaned them too. I was like, I am done cleaning these things. He's got seam lines galore, and I don't care. They broke me.
They broke
me. He's like this really soft plastic. It's so annoying to clean. I can't do it. I'm done for now, though. Still have a little bit to do with these two guys.
Yeah,
I've got odds and ends to do, but not much.
So once this, yeah, I agree with Dave. Once this dries, I'll come back and get it with that kind of burnt flesh color.
Warm it up again.
And warm it up again.
Yeah.
And just leave the blue. See how the blue's in there? I'll just kind of leave some of that showing through. And
you probably want to make the blue a little bit like more vibrant than you want it to be, because when you apply that other color over it, it'll get rid of some of it.
This is true.
I like it the way it's looking, though.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, if you do want it to be warmer, you can always warm it up.
It is starting to look kind of cool, like like it
little
looks
iridescent sheen to it.
Apparent. And you just leave it. You leave enough of it in the along the creases and stuff. Cool. So much thing. Have I told you the story of Darth Pelagius the Wise? It ends in do it. What the hell are you talking about?
Star Wars reference.
Is it? Well, it's Darth something, right?
Darth Plagueis the Wise is the master of the Emperor, or Darth Sidious.
Oh, okay. See, I'm not that Star Wars savvy.
Yeah,
you just like to shit on.
Yeah, I just like to talk shit about it.
Briefly spoke about it in episode 3 when Anakin and him was talking, watching the show, whatever.
Do it. It's a lot of skin color. A lot of skin to do. She has weird skin tone too, because by the time you're done with it, it's supposed to look really gray.
Yeah.
And
kind of dead.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use that heavy warm gray color at the end to make it look more gray, because right now it looks way too vibrant Whoa, and I'm getting all
Yeah.
kinds of cruddish right there. Crud. Like there's like skin or something in my maybe like paint skins.
Oh, I hate that.
I hate that.
I hate when your bottle gets like clogged with some of that and you like squeeze it and then all of a sudden a shit ton of paint comes out.
Mm-hmm. When I'm mixing paints to go on the airbrush, if I feel a little bit of resistance, then I know there's skin in there and I stop. Have to shoot out a bunch of it and then mix it back up and then shoot out some more.
Yeah.
Just so that it does the thing. Woo. You just get one little layer on this done, and then I think I'm gonna call it. So I'll go to sleep. But will I though? I'll sleep. Probably
Yeah, I
should.
no longer have a headset. I gotta get another one eventually at some point. Sometimes. I
Yeah,
apologize for the loud noises.
that's okay. For when I'm over in the Philippines, what I'm thinking of doing is just buying a webcam while I'm over there and recording stuff on that instead of bringing one.
Okay.
Because it should be pretty cheap when I'm over there to do stuff like that. And then I'll have my tiny little laptop on me. Octave, how do you stop the airbrush from getting dry tip? Well, there's like needle lube that you can buy, and I hear that works, but I don't do that myself. Honestly, what I do for a dry tip is I just keep pulling the tip out and cleaning it, which is way more of a hassle than getting some tip lube, but that's how I do it. And it'll just happen, especially when you're doing a long session of airbrushing. You just have to expect it. I don't know. Do you have any advice for that, Dizzy?
When I just like use airbrush cleaner between colors, and sometimes if I'm like not, sometimes I'll just leave a little airbrush cleaner in it, run it through a little bit, and just leave it in the pot and like kind of let it sit there till I'm ready to start using the airbrush again, and then I'll just spray it out. And I just thin down my paints a lot with airbrush thinner, and yeah, I don't really have too many problems. I have problems with the Sotar, but that's because it's like a really, really,
tiny.
really fine needle. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I don't remember now. Was I using? I think I was mixing some scale color down, and maybe it's just too pigmented for the little fine needle or something.
Yeah, you can get that issue with typically like white paints or really light tone paints because they have a lot of white pigments and clays in them, and that can dry out your tip.
Yeah.
Like white tends to powder a lot when you're spraying that through an airbrush if you don't thin it properly. Usually happens just after I fill the cup. Really? One thing I do is I don't overfill the cup. It's another thing that might be contributing to that.
I don't do that either. And then, well, if I'm running the same color, I'll usually just mix more, and I usually just mix it right in the little cup pot, whatever. But yeah.
Because I've had that experience too, like, oh, it has this giant cup. Let me fill it full of paint. And then you end up throwing away 90% of that paint because it clogs up.
Or spilling it everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that side of it too.
Yeah, I did that the other day on myself. I had like green paint. It seeped through my pants and it stained my skin and everything.
Oh,
This
like
is being pale.
on your lap or whatever. You had it
Yeah,
on. Yeah,
yeah.
because I have like a cloth down here that I wipe the brush on, or I'll dab the moisture off on. And sometimes, like with an airbrush, I'll clean it out with that,
Mhm.
and then it'll spill through that cloth, and it'll end up on my pants or whatever.
Yeah, that's when I instantly take them to get washed. You
You're
make
using
sure it
black
doesn't
spray.
dry on your clothes. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Just once that dries, it's done. That paint is there.
You were using black spray primer. You're using the Vallejo black spray primer? Because that stuff does dry a little faster.
I'm
The
not a
other
fan of
thing,
Vallejo primer, but I only tried it from eBay, and I don't know if it was tampered with, so I don't like to say. Yeah, I love
it
the
can be
final
kind of
res.
finicky.
Yeah,
One of the things I learned with Vallejo primer
yeah.
is buy the smallest bottle possible,
Oh.
because for whatever reason, after a while, as you start to get down, towards the lower half of the bottles, it starts to thicken up. Maybe it's a consequence of just having it open and getting more and more air in it. So over time, it starts to lose water. Like I've never been able to make it all the way through a bottle of primer. It usually becomes too thick to use towards the bottom. Even if you thin it, like thinning primer it can get you by in certain situations, but I don't like to do it. Like I feel like I'm somehow, especially if you thin primer too much and then you see that it's only like sliding into the crevices and bouncing off
Yeah.
the main
That's what
surface.
that's what my Vallejo tends to like to do. It just doesn't cover well. I usually thin styrene res a little bit just when I don't know, I just like to have it thin and it kind of goes farther. It
Hmm.
doesn't have to be thin. I've used it
Right.
straight up, no problem. But I don't know. I just have a little bit more control with it when I thin it, and it lasts a little bit longer. And running through an
That's
airbrush
cool.
as well.
I have heard good stuff about Stynylrez.
Stuff's amazing. I've actually like thought I messed up a mini where like touched it where it was wet and everything like that.
Hmm.
And as long as it's still wet and you spray a little tiny bit over it, and it levels itself out nicely. That's what I like
That's
about it.
nice.
And I've actually gone through and like overcoated minis and thought I messed it up and I lost all my detail. Dried right down nice and tight, and all my details came back.
Oh wow,
So
that's good.
yeah, that stuff's pretty foolproof. I don't know what the heck it's made out of, magic or something, but
It's made out of witchcraft.
yeah, apparently. Because I mean, I've done pretty much everything you can to botch a mini with it, and it's like still comes out looking perfect. I'm like, wow, okay, this is now my primer of choice. And it
Nice.
mixes well. I mix it all the time, like to make like I'll mix the gray and black a lot to just make like a little bit darker gray because I find gray primer's not quite dark enough for my taste.
Yeah,
And
the Vallejo gray primer is very light.
mhm. Yeah, they're both kind of
Um,
just the resin color, and I prefer to have something darker. So
mhm. But yeah, that's my. So I used to buy the big Econo bottle of the Vallejo primer. Now I'm down to like these. And then soon
mini
I'm just
primer.
gonna go down to the dropper bottle. Fuck it. I will get through a bottle of these.
Mhm.
But I would I would probably switch to Stynylrez if I could get it locally. Like
Yeah,
instead of having to order it, I probably would.
yeah. It's unfortunate that they don't offer it locally. It's weird.
Yeah, I
It
thought
used to be
like
impossible to find anywhere, and now you can find it online easily. But
yeah, you can get it on Amazon, right?
yeah, yeah, it comes on Amazon. You can even get the 3-pack or just the individuals. All that. It's a
That's
good
cool.
price too. It lasts really long. I've done an insane amount of minis I find with it, and still, I don't have huge bottles of it. What are they? Where's the amount? 120 ml, 4 ounce bottles. And yeah, they're not even like They're the white, which I used up the most because I use it over gray and black.
Mhm.
I don't know, it's about a third gone. Somewhere between a third and a half gone. I can't really tell exactly where it's at. It's maybe about half
That's
gone.
nice. It goes far.
Yeah. And I usually cover my minis really well with primer. Like some people barely cover them, and I like to make sure that the surface is well covered.
Yeah, I usually do a couple of coats of primer, but I've heard it does make sense. Like some people say, hey, you don't need to completely cover your mini with primer. And that makes sense. Like you just need enough, like a thin enough layer on there to where the paint can grab. But I do it anyway.
I also see it as a way to prevent the paint from chipping and like handling wear and tear and stuff like that. Just
Yep.
just like I'd rather have a nice coat of it on there. And some people are like just concerned about getting the areas that are going to get touched, but I feel like if the whole mini's covered, then it bonds the primer to it much better than just having like certain areas covered, you know?
Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah. Just my
Oh
weird
man, it
overthinking of
is.
things.
Yeah. It is now midnight and I'm gonna go to sleep. That's about
Oh,
as far as I'm gonna get on Enchantress.
it's
But
looking good though. It's a really nice mini.
everybody else has fallen asleep. Yeah, they're coming along okay. I still need to. I'll come back and work on her pantyhose a little bit more. And actually, I need to brighten
Yeah,
up her face.
warm up her pantyhose just to make that contrast come back a little bit.
Hmm But
Yeah.
yeah, we're doing okay.
Cool.
Just starting up on these, but they're fun. All
Nice.
right, everybody. Well, thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks for the
And yeah,
invite.
I'll set up a hangout tomorrow night. Sure. And I'll put together that Twilight mini.
Okay. I'm looking at again
See you
tomorrow.
guys.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
All right.